everyone.
TheSoulAuthority.com. That's TheSole authority.com. Tell them.
Good morning.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell.
We'll be live in just a minute.
New product, my slippers. They took me over 2 years to develop because I didn't want just an ordinary slipper. My slippers are meant to be worn all day long, no matter what you're doing.
We got a lot to talk about today, and I'm going to make some announcements later in the show. Not right at the beginning. Yeah, and hey everybody, please like the video right here in the beginning of the show. And those of you that are new, subscribe.
And help prevent fatigue. Not only that, my slippers are made with high quality leather and a premium indoor-outdoor sole that make them extremely durable. I personally guarantee they're going to be the most comfortable slippers you'll ever own.
And right now, save 40% off the MyPillow My Slippers when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout.
Here we go. It is showtime, people.
Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables.
Here we go.
Toll free
3 degrees. Oh my goodness.
3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1.
Hey guys, good morning, good morning. It is 5 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. It is Tuesday, January 11th, 2022, and man, do we have a lot to talk about. Nancy Pelosi getting sloppy, making some mistakes. We got some huge scandals that are the beginning of the downfall of the House Madam Speaker, they call her, and she's the Speaker of the House of Representatives. That makes her a House Madam, which is very, very appropriate. We are now in the beginning of the fall of House Madam Nancy Pelosi. We're going to talk about that today. I've got some announcements coming up after the first segment of the program on some things. You don't want to miss anything. And today, I came in today and I was going through my mail. I get mail here. I get letters and packages from listeners. And I was in shock at this one. This one, I'm a little impressed with myself with this one. I'm going through all of my, you call it fan mail and everything. And I had a package here, and I didn't look to see who sent it. And it was James O'Keefe's new book, which is not released yet. It's not released yet. I got an advance copy of it. American Muckraker, Rethinking Journalism for the 21st Century, written by James O'Keefe, founder of Project Veritas. And I opened up the book, because I opened up the package. I opened up the book, and I was amazed that this is amazing that James O'Keefe personally sent me this book. And with the book, James O'Keefe personally sent this to me. And it's not only autographed to Brian Craig from James O'Keefe. He dated it. He sent it December 29th is when he did this. He sent me a letter. James O'Keefe sent me a handwritten letter and his cell phone number. Wow. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, James O'Keefe sent me his cell phone number, a personal letter handwritten from the desk of James O'Keefe I have here. And the cell phone number is not on the letter. It's on another piece of paper. But, yeah, I'm absolutely amazed. And an invite to a private party. Oh, my goodness. I feel like I've made it. I've made it. Holy smokes. Oh, my goodness. Isn't that amazing? I know. What a way to start the day. I'm very excited. Now, you guys may not be that impressed, but I'm impressed with myself. Hey, listen, hey, what can you do? I've been doing this for a couple of minutes, and it's nice to get some recognition like that. Yeah, I got an invite to a private party by James O'Keefe. Oh, my goodness. I can't tell you where or when or anything else, but oh, my goodness, yeah, later this month. And wow, it's at a pretty exciting place. Let me check the date. I might have to take a day off work, because if I go to that party, I don't think I'll be here live at 6 a.m. the next day. Would you guys mind if I take a day off work to go to a private party with James O'Keefe? Oh my goodness. I don't think you'd hold that against me, would you? I don't know. I'll check. I can't find my calendar here. Oh well. Well, listen, enough about me. Let's move on to some other things. If you want to call in and talk about me, no, I'm kidding. You know that old saying, enough about me, what do you think of me? No, I'm not doing that. I just was excited. This really caught me off guard. I just opened this up right before the opening of the show this morning, so it was pretty exciting. All right, guys, we do have a lot to talk about, and I got some announcements coming up later in the show, but I wanted to start with this business with Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, you know, there is another Democrat who is not running for re-election. Now, you know, for you wokesters out there, the entire House of Representatives is up for re-election every 2 years, 1/3 of the Senate. I know we have to do this basic social studies, American government lesson, because we have Democrats in the audience, and they don't teach this stuff in school anymore. And I wonder if I can vlog the private party with James O'Keefe. I don't know. I wonder who else will be there. Oh, man. I'm excited. I'm sure there'll be... You know who I bet will be there? Because I bet you Milo Yiannopoulos will be there. I love Milo Yiannopoulos. Oh, my goodness. But anyway, the entire House of Representatives is up for re-election, and 26 House Dems are retiring. That's more than 12%. In fact, more than 10%. It's just shy of 12%. Think about this now. Just shy of 12% of the Democrats in the House of Representatives are not running for re-election. And the Democrats only have, a 7-seat majority in the House? It's a very slim majority. I mean, it's barely a majority. About 7 seats. Is that right? And just shy of 12% of the Democrats are not running for re-election. These are not things that people walk away from. People only leave the House of Representatives if they have something better lined up. Like Ron DeSantis left the House of Representatives to be the governor of Florida, the chief executive of Florida. That's an upgrade from the House of Representatives. Sometimes someone will be in the House and then they'll leave the House to take a Senate seat. People don't walk away from these things. On rare occasions they do, like Sean Duffy, okay? Sean Duffy left Congress. Why did he leave the House? Because how many kids does Sean and his wife have? Sean Duffy? They have like 15 children. And a House of Representatives salary just is not enough to support 13, 15 kids, however many kids they have. So he had to take a job over at Fox News to make some real money to support his family. That's a different thing. But for almost 12% of the Democrats to retire, you know, when you're a congressman, there's all kinds of things going on, right? Especially Democrats. They got all that corruption going on. They got their family members with all these fake jobs, raking in all kinds of money. And also, they've got a job that's really a cakewalk. No accountability. You just got to vote however the Democrats tell you to vote. When you walk into a room, everybody stands up and hangs on your every word. You're a very important person. And then you leave, and all of a sudden, people are not returning your calls. Right? That's how it works. And almost 12% of the Democrats in the House of Representatives not running for re-election means they believe they have no hope of winning. No hope of winning as the red wave approaches. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. They're not even going to try. They're like giving up. Because because they can set themselves up with some job or something before they don't want to be a loser. They're winners now. They have the seats, so they want to set themselves up. If they run and lose, they're losers, and nobody wants to do any favors for a loser. So they got a year. So they got a year to peddle favors for a job, and that's what they're doing. That's why they're not running for re-election, because they know they're going to lose, and they're trying to set themselves up. So that's a big defeat. And Nancy Pelosi, now there's a story out now, courtesy of the New York Post. This is in Newsmax. Nancy Pelosi has made up to $30 million on insider stock trades. Now remember, Martha Stewart went to prison for a $50,000 trade, and Pelosi's doing $30 million. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who is always speaking against corporate greed, well, that hasn't stopped her from raking in as much as $30 million personally from insider stock trades on the very big tech companies she oversees in Congress. This is in Newsmax. After decades in public service, Pelosi has amassed an estimated net worth of up to $252 million. And it goes through all these different companies and everything. And insider trading in Congress is this. Members of Congress, they buy, they plan on introducing legislation that will benefit companies. But before that legislation is introduced, they go and buy stock in that company for peanuts. And then they pass the legislation that benefits that company, and the stock price goes up. They inflate, they buy it cheap, they pass laws, use government money, and boom, the stock's worth a lot more money. That's how they make their money. It's called corruption. It's called being a corrupt public official, selling of your offices, abuse of power. It's all kinds of things. Sadly, it's legal because Congress makes the laws, and they make the laws to benefit their corrupt selves. So it's not like insider trading like Martha Stewart. It's worse, but they have legalized their crimes. But this is the thing. This is the thing. She's on her way out, right? She is on her way out as Speaker of the House. So Pelosi's getting sloppy here. She's rushing to make as much money as she can right now and do it now. It's never enough for someone like Nancy. She has $25,000 refrigerator, two of them, total of $50,000, and that may even be just in the servant's kitchen. But this is her last big hurrah. This last year, this is all she's got now. She's got this brief period in time to do as much corrupt dealing as she can, and she's going to be doing it left and right. And this $30 million deal, very sloppy of her, but this is it. After this, she'll be out of office, and she won't have any office to sell. She won't have any favors to peddle. She'll be like the Clintons who, the Clinton Foundation, they don't get donations anymore, the Clinton Foundation. That's why they're doing online classes for subscription service companies. What's the company that the Clintons are doing the class? The Clintons obviously have pissed through their money, like the Bidens did, and they're broke. And Pelosi knows that after this year, there's no more insider stock deals. There's no more insider trading because she's going to be out. She'll have no favors to sell, no office to sell, and this is it. So this is the beginning of the year of corruption for Nancy Pelosi. She's going to amp up her corruption because this is it. And we are going to be covering all of it as it goes. And this insider trading deal, she's going to go out in disgrace. It may not be technically illegal, but it pisses people off because it shows the true corruption of the Democrats that are led by the House Madam herself, Nancy Pelosi. So this is good because she'll go out of power, a disgrace, a corrupt public official. It'll be reported all over the conservative media, and it'll slip out into mainstream media too. So she's going to go out not as being Speaker, not running for it because she's going to lose and she wants to retire as Speaker and not Minority Leader. But she might get greedy and hang around as Minority Leader. Have you ever thought about that? She may hang around as Minority Leader. Because even as Minority Leader, she can still peddle some favors. We don't know. Right? Is she going to completely retire? Let me know what you think. Will she retire completely? Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Now, today's show is brought to you by the Thomas Edison of sleep, Mike Lindell, the inventor of the MyPillow, and this is a special sponsorship from MyPillow today on the Steve Kane Show, because we're going to talk about Valentine's Day. And you know, I've been telling you guys that I have my own Brian bundle for Valentine's Day, and I'm going to go through that now because I've got an amazing story to tell you about just that. But if you go to mypillow.com, remember, whatever special you see, regardless of what it says, you can take advantage of with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, K-A-N-E. Now, the Brian bundle begins with the MyPillow bathrobes. They have many different colors and styles for men and women, the heavy robe, the lighter robe. They got a bunch of new colors in, and I checked this morning before I left the house. Everything in every color and every size is in stock right now, but that is sure not to be the case soon, because people are going to be jumping on this for Valentine's Day, and they're going to start running out of sizes and different colors. 30% off the MyPillow bathrobes with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. His and hers MyPillow bathrobes are a perfect Valentine's Day gift, no doubt about that. Now, I want to also say, when you get your MyPillow bathrobe, my wife and I got those for ourselves last Valentine's Day. You want to get yourself the MyPillow My Slippers, which are 40% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. They come in many different colors and many different styles for both men and women. 40% off the MyPillow My Slippers with the promo code KANE. And, you know, this morning I woke up with a really bad lower back pain, really bad. I got up at 3 this morning. I pulled my back out yesterday. I was doing some work around the house and I hurt my back. And I went to bed and I woke up and my back was hurting. I got up and I put my feet in my MyPillow My Slippers, and I was up for about 2 hours or so before I left the house today. I didn't take any medication. I didn't take any Motrin or Aleve. I didn't take anything. I just put on my MyPillow My Slippers, which are 40% off with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout, and the back pain disappeared. I didn't even realize it disappeared, because it was just gone. And then after a while, I was like, wait a minute, my back's not hurting anymore. That was this morning. I know, it's absolutely amazing. And you know, it hasn't returned. It's amazing. 40% off the MyPillow My Slippers with the promo code KANE. And of course, finally, the Brian Valentine's Day bundle, the MyPillow sleepwear, and they have a new line of sleepwear for both men and women, which will go great with your My Slippers, great with your MyPillow. The MyPillow sleepwear, great styles for both men and women, perfect for Valentine's Day, 50% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. All right, if you're on, you can also order by phone. Save up to 66% off MyPillow products with our promo code. You can also order by phone, 800-716-4879, 800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
Pandemic hit America. Our nation was caught off guard and unprepared. One of the biggest
Steve Kane Show.
we didn't have enough PPE.
Hey, man. Now let me check the calendar here for this party. Ooh. The James O'Keefe party I was invited to is on a Saturday night. How exciting. Michael, $5 super chat. Thank you. Everyone thank Michael Golden for that. Tell O'Keefe to call Mike from Massapequa. Okay.
Small Business Development Group is a publicly traded company. Stock symbol SBDG. Online at c2cpic.com. Find strategic manufacturers online at strategicmanufacturers.com.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, James O'Keefe gave me his cell phone number,
state of Florida certified roofing and
gave me an invite to this private party.
impact windows and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any
In fact,
on your ceiling,
I got to confirm I'm going to go, and then
you will want to call
the destination, the location will be revealed.
To complete new roof systems, we install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602.
Saturday night in Toledo. What was that song by John Denver?
954-604-4602.
Wesley, $5 super chat. Good morning. Look forward to seeing Trump on TV Saturday night. Oh, yeah. Thanks for reminding me. Oh, yeah, and don't forget, Saturday night. What are you doing Saturday night? Whatever you're doing, cancel it. There's a Trump rally in Arizona Saturday night, and we want to, make sure that we all catch it, right? So make no plans for Saturday except to be in front of your television. I'm sure Newsmax and One American News will carry the Trump rally Saturday night in Arizona. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be exciting, and he's got a lot to talk about. If you have plans on Saturday night, cancel them right now. All right, our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Mike in Louisiana, good morning. Oh, there you go. Hey, Mike, what's up?
Oh, not too much. You're right with Pelosi. She cannot continue to be corrupt if she's out of office. Because nobody's going to want to deal with
Well, she can try, but no one. If she has no office to sell,
Right, and that's the thing. That seat out there in California is relatively safe. Any Democrat could win it.
Oh, yeah.
All right? Yeah, so she's 70 years old. I mean, look, you
She's how old? Nancy Pelosi's like 81, isn't she?
No, she's just in her mid-70s, I think.
I don't think so. Well, anyway, let me look it up while you're talking.
Anyway, I'm looking at her, and you look at her, and you watch her in some of these...
No, she's 81 years old. She just looks like she's in her 70s from all the plastic surgery, and she wears she wears the tightest girdles and Spanx and everything.
Yeah, really. But you look at her, and you look at some of those mid-morning press conferences that the Democrats have, and she cannot keep a thought in her head. She cannot express herself really well. She's another one that could stand with a visit to Dr. Matez. It would help her out.
Oh, you mean hormone replacement pellet therapy? Oh, man, if Nancy Pelosi began hormone replacement pellet therapy and Joe Biden did that too, oh, man, we'd be in trouble. Because decades would be taken off of both of their lives.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Now, as far as the corruption, the general feel is that they don't want these Democrats that are retiring don't want to be in a minority because they can see the writing on the wall, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're going to lose. The Democrats are going to lose big in 2022, and they can see it, and they don't want to be in the minority. But again, that flies in the face of being corrupt.
Well, see, since this is her last year to be a corrupt public official, she's got to start making the deals real quick. And when you're doing things that are immoral, they may be legal, but when you're doing things that are low life and corrupt, like she's doing, legal corruption, and you've only got a limited time to do it, and in fact, she's really got until she announces she's not running for re-election. So what'll happen is she's I call it getting sloppy. She's like a sloppy criminal when they start doing these things without a lot of pre-planning and they're under time pressures. That's when they start messing up.
Yeah, and remember what was it, a couple months ago, we were hearing that she was going to move to Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, she wouldn't have been able to get elected in Florida like she would be able to get elected in California. There's no way, And
yeah.
It's probably a good idea that she stayed in California because if she decides to run again, then she can get elected there.
Well, I think what happened with Nancy is she was planning on moving to Jupiter, Florida. They say that's not true now. I think Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski, who live in Jupiter as well, convinced her it's a great town to live in, and then she found out that it's the most strong MAGA community in America, And that's when she changed her mind. But she that doesn't mean she's not coming to Florida. If she establishes residency in Florida, she doesn't have to pay state income tax. And, you know, they have that high state income tax in California that she wants to escape. She spent her whole life amassing this money through corruption. She doesn't want to give it back to the government so that some other member of the Democrat Congress can use her tax money to make themselves rich by paying off donors.
Right. And not only does she have those two, $25,000 refrigerator freezer things, but she gets this designer ice cream stuff that she puts in that stuff, and that's a pretty penny as well. I mean,
oh, her ice cream was like, I don't remember the brand, but I remember people talking about it was like $15 a pint. And you know, I don't eat too much ice cream, but I did have a brief addiction to Ben & Jerry's oatmeal flavored ice cream, which was, you know, I don't eat Ben & Jerry's anymore, but that was like at the time like $3 something a pint, and I was like, I don't know, that's pretty expensive. And here's Nancy, you get like 5 pints of Ben & Jerry's for what 1 pint of hers cost.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And she, like I said, how can she live high on the hog if she's not?
Yeah, that's right.
Corrupt.
Well, hey, listen, Mike, take care. You know, I know a lot of people say, oh, what's the big news here? We all know she's a corrupt crook. Here's the big deal. She's got a limited amount of time to make crooked deals. When she announces she's not running for re-election, a lot of that corrupt deal making dries up. She'll have a little bit left, a little bit of juice left. But as we get closer to her leaving office, there's fewer and fewer deals to be made. She's got to get as much in as she can in a very limited time frame. So she's going to be doing like 5 to 10 years worth of corruption in 5 or 10 months. You get what I mean? So we're going to see stories all the time of the corruption of Nancy Pelosi's. And this is a very good thing to highlight so people can see what the Democrat Party is all about. A bunch of low-life, corrupt people. All right, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. 31 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We will be back right after this.
Hi, folks. Dr. Matez here. Now with the Biostation West Delray. At Biostation West Delray, we continue to offer the highest...
Yeah, they got... I saw that ice cream. The Kaepernick, Ben & Jerry's. Give me a break.
That's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities, including state-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc. Better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks to die for. If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great My Pillow products are, but don't just take my word for it. This is one of our listeners, Todd. He bought the My Pillow mattress topper, and he called us live on the radio to tell us about his experience with the My Pillow mattress topper.
Yeah, I'm calling to get testimonial about my pillow topper.
You ordered the My Pillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress because my old mattress was getting old. So my wife's like, why don't you try that pillow, that mattress top? So I went on, I used your promo code Kane. I got great price. Got it home, and I've been using it for the last 3 nights. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like a whole new mattress.
I talked to other listeners with the My Pillow mattress topper, and they come in all sizes. The mattress companies have turned into con artists. When I was a kid, mattresses were two-sided. You'd have the mattress, then after a while you'd flip it over. Now you can't flip mattresses anymore. They don't make them that way anymore because people weren't buying mattresses enough. So the mattress company stopped making two-sided mattresses, and mattresses are expensive. I've had to buy a new mattress, and mattresses can cost well over, just for a regular normal mattress, over $1,000. So that My Pillow mattress topper is a big savings. It saved you from buying a new mattress and turned your whole bed into a My Pillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, That's great. Well, I appreciate that. You guys out there, remember, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Now, when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper and receive 2 free MyPillows. But you got to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big MyPillow mattress. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, 34 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. By the way, the Colin Kaepernick Ben & Jerry's ice cream, I just looked it up during the break. I saw it in the freezer at Target. It's called, the flavor, Colin Kaepernick's ice cream from Ben & Jerry's is called Change the World. Change the World. Has he changed the world? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, all that social justice warrior ice cream. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Got a couple things I want to tell you about. One, you've heard me talk about our listener and friend Sarah, who's one of the more active people in our chat room. She went with us on our last cruise. She's a friend of mine, a friend of my wife's. And my wife's, I said wives. No, I'm not in any plural marriages. Oh my goodness, those guys, how could they? I don't understand those plural marriage guys. How do they handle more than one? But anyway, shocker, last night, my phone rang, or my wife's phone rang, and it was Sarah calling us from the hospital. Sarah called us. I spoke to Sarah last night. She is still in the hospital, and she's now, though, she's off the ventilator. She can talk. We talked to her for a while. And she's doing very well. She's going through rehab now in the hospital because she was on a ventilator for a couple of weeks, and there's a big rehabilitation process that goes on when you're removed from a ventilator. Her voice was raspy because when you're on that vent and they put a trach in her, you know, it scratches up your throat, and that has to heal. But she sounds great. She is with it, and she's doing very, very well. So, I mean, she's been in the hospital for over a month. So, was pretty worried about that, and Sarah is doing well. She's still in the hospital, going through rehab off the ventilator, but she's doing well. Now, I got an announcement to make. Now, this I did not know about. I did not know about this until Saturday, and it involves Steve. Steve kept this from me and told me on Saturday, and when I tell you, you'll understand why. Steve Kane had COVID. And, yeah, he called me Saturday late in the day and told me. And that's why he's been out. I thought he had a cold, upper respiratory thing like I had a few weeks ago, maybe just a little worse. And, no, he had COVID. And, yeah, I know. And he didn't tell me till Saturday. And the reason he didn't tell me it was for a number of reasons. One, I'm a worrywart, and he's doing fine. He may return to us today. I was talking to Steve yesterday, and he sounded about 98, 99% back. His voice still a little rough from being under the weather, but he sounded really good yesterday. And I mean, I talked to Steve several times a day, and I thought early on he had COVID, and he went and he got tested, and he told me it was negative. Well, he was less than truthful with me, as Bill Clinton would say. But the reason he kept it from me is a couple reasons. One is, you know, I am a worrywart, and it would have been, you know, heavy on my mind. And he didn't want people to know because of his age and everything. No, Steve has not had the booster, for those that that are asking. Steve is vaccinated with the Moderna, but he did not have the booster. He was going to get the booster, but he had been sick. So just so you know. But he didn't go to the hospital. He didn't get the monoclonal treatment. In fact, all he did was basically over-the-counter treatments, you know, which is pretty surprising. But he's almost 100%. You know, when I talk to him, I talked to him a few times. I talk to Steve several times a day, and you know, he kept it from us because he didn't want you know, people would be calling him and his house constantly, seeing how he's doing and everything because of his age. You know, people will say, "Oh no, it's you know people will think because of his age," and I get it. And but he told me on Saturday, and yeah, I know, and told me Saturday night. I did not tell you guys yesterday because when he told me, I didn't talk to him about telling you guys, and I wanted to talk to him first, and we didn't really talk on Sunday, I don't think, so I didn't tell you yesterday because I wanted to clear it for you. He may join us in the last hour today, but he will definitely be back this week. But yeah, I know, it's pretty shocking. When he told me on Saturday, I was like in complete shock that he had COVID, because Steve gets sick from time to time. We all do, and you know, and he did not. And I have known several people with COVID, and remember, now Steve didn't go to the hospital. He didn't do the monoclonal, and so far as I know, he didn't do anything. He pretty much just wrote it out. You know, and at his age, that's an amazing thing. He's very high risk. He's had pneumonia a couple of times. His age. Yeah, and I told him, well, now, I said, now you're like really vaccinated because you've had the COVID. You've got the best. You've got the best. No, he did not get the booster, if you're asking, but he is doing well. I hope he joins us today. And he told me he didn't want to do the whole show on the COVID. Didn't really want to talk about it, you know, too much, which I get. So, but I asked him last night. I says, okay, if I tell everybody first thing in the morning, he said, yeah, go ahead and tell them, but don't do the whole show on it. And I don't want to be taking calls on it all week. But, you know, he was definitely scared. I mean, I'd be scared too if I got it. And wouldn't anybody be nervous? But, yeah, so that's good. You know, but I have known a lot of people that have gotten COVID. And this is why, you know, when he first got sick, I said to him, you know, you sure you don't have COVID? You better go get tested. He went and got tested and told me it was negative. But that was just like a precaution. He did not sound as sick as the other people I've known that have had COVID. Other people I've known that have had COVID, they have sounded really bad when I've talked to them. I mean, especially like a week or two in, because Steve's been sick for a couple of weeks, and I've talked to people that have had it for a week or two, and they sound like death. And Steve is, you know, he sounded sick, but he never sounded like that. So, you know, so I just thought, you know, he, his wife and his son, they were tested and did test negative, and he tested positive. So I don't know where he got it, who he got it from. And I told him yesterday, I said, you know, you were at the doctor's. I said, maybe you got it at the doctor's office because that's where all the sick people go. And that is certainly true. You know, the primary care physicians and hospitals, that's where all the sick people go, and you pick up a lot of things when you go to places like that sometimes. But we have no idea where he got it. But he is okay, and he is on the mend, and in fact, I talked to him Sunday morning, and he was almost better. I mean, he just had a little lingering cough. So we'll find out. He may join us today. If not, he'll be here back this week because he's itching to get back on the air. All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. And, you know, it was by the way, it was no issue because I have not seen Steve in person for a while because I was sick with a cold. We were going to get together, and we've been doing our business by phone and by mail because we had to get together, and I was sick, and I said, well, I better not go near you. I've got a cold, and then I got better, and then he was sick, so we didn't get together again. So, you know, I've not been exposed or even been with Steve. And I'll tell you, if we had not rescheduled our cruise, I don't think Steve would have been able to go because the cruise is 10 days away, and it's still lingering in him. Although he's almost all better, I don't think there would have been enough time for him to have been testing negative to even go. So this is not why we rescheduled the cruise, by the way. I talked about that yesterday, why we rescheduled the cruise. It is not because of Steve's situation. But we would have, it would have been something we would have had to deal with because I don't think he would have been able to I don't think he would have been able to go. But we were going to leave on the 21st. That's 10 days. He's probably still testing positive. I'm guessing. I don't know. And it would not. It wouldn't have been enough. Well, listen. I mean, I know more people with COVID today than I knew all last year. And in fact, I know more people in the last 2 weeks that have been COVID positive than I've known in the last 2 years with it personally, and like my immediate circle. So it is something that is going around that everybody is getting. And I do my best to avoid it and avoid situations because I can't take two weeks off work. You know what I mean? So I'm probably more cautious than anybody, short of wearing masks and hazmat suits all the time. But I do hope Steve makes it back with us today. And I know you've seen these stories about now the CDC is saying there's 4 comorbidities from the people that have passed. So the people that have passed, the vast majority of them, they passed away with COVID, but they died of something else. Now this is coming out. And I'll tell you, this really shows you the corruption of anything the government is involved in, the corruption and the manipulation of it. Now, why do you think all of a sudden the CDC is telling us the truth? Something many people have suspected, many people have theorized on, that a lot of people died COVID positive, but they have other issues that they've died from. Why are they telling us the truth now? It's pretty simple. It's because more people are getting it than last year, and more people have passed in the last year than the year before, which is insane. Because last year with President Trump, there were no treatments, right? No treatments. Now we got all these different treatments, and more have died. And now what they're trying to do is take the COVID death blame away from Biden. Because Biden's got that quote that, he was going to rid us of COVID, and any president that had that many people die from this pandemic should not be president. So they're desperate to save Biden's legacy, his reputation, and his really failure of a presidency by saying, well, no, there are not more COVID deaths with Biden than Trump. Most people have died from other things. They just had COVID at the time that they died of these other things. They are so dishonest. They're so dishonest. And they wonder why people question everything. You can't question science. They change the science every 10 minutes. You could be agreeing with what you heard yesterday, but you're questioning what they said today. And it's so obvious what they're doing. And it's really, when we're finally through this, we're in the beginning of the 3rd year. We're 2 years into this. When we're finally through this and the book is written, there's going to be a lot of changes as to how all this was handled and how things like this will be handled in the future if it happens again. But that was, I know I saw Dr. Atlas on Newsmax yesterday talking about it. I was like, yeah, well, I knew this back when I was with the Trump administration, but they wouldn't officially say it, but he had the data, so he knew, even though it wasn't officially released by the CDC, and this covering of Biden that they're doing. And it also shows you how they didn't want a good crisis to go to waste, to quote Rahm Emanuel, Barack Obama's first chief of staff, who led a disastrous run of the city of Chicago, was their mayor. Rahm Emanuel never let a good crisis go to waste. How they used the crisis to manipulate public fear and use that against President Trump in an election year. And now they're trying to save Biden by saying, well, these numbers that say more people have died from COVID under Biden than Trump, that's not true. They died of these other things. I tell you, can an honest person other than President Trump be in government? Is everyone who's a bureaucrat this corrupt? We can handle the truth. Just tell us the truth, okay? That's all we want. And they wonder why people don't trust them, don't take their advice, question them so much. It's because everyone that works for the government, no matter what they are doing, especially these bureaucrats like the CDC and others, they have 3 other, 4 other, 10 other agendas going on, and they manipulate what they tell us. They filter what they tell us to accomplish those interests. And that woman that runs the CDC, they should all be fired. They should all be fired. In fact, not only should they be fired, they should be liable for the damage they've done. Look at the economic damage they've done by that lie. And what other kinds of damages have they done? How many people How many people have not made it in the past 2 years, have died of something because of the fear they had of going to the doctor or the hospital? You know, in the last 2 years, a lot of people with different conditions have to get all kinds of regular tests for different things. And they're not getting them because they're afraid to go to the hospital. They don't want to get exposed. My wife has to get a cardiac cath every year, cardiac catheterization. She's put it off for the last couple years because of this. And she's got another one scheduled that she's going to push off again. A lot of people are doing that. So their misinformation and all these things that they've been doing, there's no doubt about it, have not just had a massive economic impact in a very negative way on this country, but there are probably a lot of people that have died because they've avoided getting the proper checkups and testing that they should get and haven't found out about all kinds of things. I'm going to take our last break of the first hour. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631, 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back after this.
This is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Traveling and need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalwood Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
When the pandemic hit America, our nation was caught off guard and unprepared. One of the biggest problems was we didn't have enough PPE.
Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show. On.
Interested in this investment opportunity, contact Small Business Development Group at 919 area code 654-6870. 919 area code 654-6870. Learn more about this incredible opportunity. 919-654-6870.
Small Business Development Group is a publicly traded company. Stock symbol SBDG. Online at c2cpic.com. Find strategic manufacturers online at strategicmanufacturers.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, 8 minutes before the top of the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE1. That's K-A-N-E, and the number 1-888-465-2631. Wisconsin, Gary, you're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How are you?
Doing all right. How are you doing?
Good. You know, I really hope you get to go to James O'Keefe's party because I think that it would really be a really beneficial thing for you. Granted, it's on a Saturday and Trump is going to be on basically having a rally then, but I really hope and you really consider about going to...
Well, it depends on where the party is at. It's at a secret, undisclosed location, and it may not be close enough for me to go to. I'll have to find out. It's like going to a speakeasy. I got to find secret location, passwords, and all kinds of other things.
Well, hopefully hopefully it's not in New York. That's the only thing that I'm worried about. But, I mean, hopefully it's somewhere down in a rural location down near by Florida. Probably the greatest thing for you. But, you know, you brought up earlier about Nancy Pelosi. You know, now that all of a sudden that 26 people now that are now retiring, you know, it's I heard a report, I think it was from somebody who was on Reuters, I think it was, but that now, you know, if all these people in Congress and all of a sudden now is the time to get rid of a lot of these people that are rhinos in Congress, I think that starts moving the goalposts of almost like 50 people or 47 people now that we got to get out of Congress so that this way we get the House back the way it should be, and then start getting our Senate.
Well, in the House of Representatives, the Democrats only have like a 7-seat majority or something. It's a very tiny majority, and very tiny. It's barely a majority, and 26 Democrats have already announced they're retiring, not running for re-election. That means they believe they're losers. That is just under 12% of the Democrats in the House. It's not looking good. It's not looking good for them. It's looking good for the red wave.
Right, and that's what we really need is a really, you know, other than the red wave, I think we need a major typhoon wave is what we should really call it. A red typhoon wave is what it really should be, because we really need to reform the whole Washington either in the House, the Senate, and get our president back, and I think everything will go back to normal.
On day one.
Day.
Yeah.
One. Exactly.
Yep.
I'm going to give my prayers out to Steve. We're all praying for him, and hopefully he comes back soon, because a lot of us miss him.
He may be back today. He was telling me he was almost 100%, but you know, when you start to get well, you don't want to push yourself those last few days. You don't want to have a relapse.
Right, and I'm glad that you guys got to talk to Sarah. That really means a lot, too.
Oh, yeah, I'm so happy for Sarah. And when Steve called me on Saturday, I was shocked when he told me. I was completely shocked.
Yeah, I can see where you are a worry ward, because, I mean, the last time when you had some instances with some former clients, you know, that you had, or colleagues, you know, you kind of took it kind of hard, and I know how you probably feel about.
Oh, you're talking about Richard Pearl. You know, I talked to Richard Pearl a couple times when he had COVID, and every time, even when he sounded his best, he did not sound as well as Steve has sounded the last couple of weeks. Because Steve, you know, I mean, I don't know, but my assumption is Steve has the Omicron, because it really was not beyond what he's had from what I've seen. You know, bad cold flu is what it seemed like.
Yeah, because believe it or not, about a few days after you were sick, and I actually had a nasal flu and stuff, and my wife, she got it too, but we were apart at the time, and I'm just slowly starting to get over it, so I don't know if I'm starting to sound a little bit better or what.
Yeah, you sound great. You sound great. Anytime you get a sniffle, everyone thinks COVID these days.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and we both got tested. We both passed with flying colors, but I mean, it's like when you walk into a building and all of a sudden people start flipping out, and it's just like, you basically like gotta say, you know,
yep,
we're both getting better as time goes on. I want to wish you a really great.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it, Gary. Thank you. All right, well, you know, our number toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631, and today's show is especially brought to you by the Thomas Edison of sleep, the inventor of the MyPillow, Mike Lindell, for Valentine's Day. You know, we're a little more than a month away from Valentine's Day. There was no greater gift for Valentine's Day than the great products at MyPillow. With our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, whatever special you see at MyPillow, you can take advantage of with our promo code, no matter what it says. You can save up to 66% off. And I've been talking a lot about what I call the Brian Valentine's Day bundle, which starts with the MyPillow bathrobe that comes in many different colors for men and women. They have the heavy bathrobe. They have the light bathrobe, which is new. Everything is in stock. No supply chain issues. My wife and I got the MyPillow bathrobes for each other last year on Valentine's Day. His and hers MyPillow bathrobes are perfect gifts for Valentine's Day, and they're 30% off with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And, of course, with your bathrobe, you want your MyPillow, My Slippers, which I also have. They come in many different sizes. Styles. They come in different sizes, of course. They come in many different styles and colors for men and women. The MyPillow, My Slippers, 40% off with the promo code KANE. And finally, in the Brian Valentine's Day bundle at MyPillow.com, the brand new MyPillow sleepwear for both men and women. That's 50% off with the promo code KANE at checkout. Now, again, whatever specials you see there, you can take advantage of with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, no matter what it says. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. If you're on hold, stand by. Back to the phones after this break.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. This is Brian Craig. I'm in studio with Debbie from I Will Advisors. She has an incredible new service to tell you about called I Will Advocates. Debbie, what is I Will Advocates and how are you?
Steve Kane Show. Hold on, Richie. Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
For Medicare advocacy, that a lot of people don't have a child or a spouse that can assist them with their medical needs, and that's where we step in.
There's a lot of things that seniors need help with. Prescriptions, doctor's appointments, things like this. How do you help them with that?
If you're having a problem at the doctor's office, having problems scheduling an appointment in a timely manner, we can step in. If you're having issues at the pharmacy, having problems refilling a prescription, or feel that you're being mischarged for something, you can contact us and we will step in. Even if you're at the hospital and you feel like you're being neglected, we'll be there for you at a touch of a button, whether it's to call the nurse's station or assist in any other way.
So if someone's in the hospital, they feel they're not getting the care that they need, they haven't seen their doctor, they haven't seen their nurse, they can actually call you and you'll contact the hospital for them?
Absolutely. We act as your family. We'll step up, we'll call the nurse's station and ask for some assistance. If we can't get anything done there, we'll go to the higher levels.
Now, this is a service that you're offering.
Commercial
They do
recording
not
at
have to
home.
be an
What are you talking
existing
about?
client of I Will Advisors to take advantage of this, right?
Oh, of course not. No, we're here for
Because of the time. They have to do it at 9:15. I'm going to do it here. I've got my recorder. I can do it here. But it's just because of the time frame. I couldn't do it later.
those of you who
That's
take
all.
care
Yeah.
of recipients. Debbie at I Will Advocates will help you with your prescriptions. You'll set up doctor's appointments for them, including the primary care physician and specialist, right?
Of course, we'll assist in anything to help you find new doctors.
They'll help you with your medical billing. They'll help you with your insurance billing. If you feel you've been billed wrong by your doctor, they'll step in for that and even help you if you're in the hospital. Basically, what you're offering is a concierge service to senior citizens.
That's exactly it.
That's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before. So how much does this cost?
Well, for just $20 a month, you will have the security of knowing that you have an experienced and passionate advocate, just a touch of a button.
Good morning, everyone.
Call Debbie's office. The number 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Or go online. You can sign up online at iwilladvocates.com. That's iwilladvocates.com.
Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-COCAINE. 1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1. And now, here's Steve Kane.
All righty. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. I'll take some calls before I bring up some new topics, and we got some big stuff to bring up today, so don't go anywhere. Lots going on. Richie the bus driver, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I hope Steve, because I'm glad he's much better. Here's the deal. I've been around this planet for a long time, and you've been, and at this time you have also. Have you noticed anything about your vote?
Yeah. Well, I'm waiting for the part, Richie, that has anything to do with anything I brought up. It's not open phones. Yeah.
See, and it's all people like Bill Sharp.
Well, it used to be where the members of Congress were picked in the by the state legislators and everything, and then when they moved everything to Washington, is when the lobbying began. Lobbying and corruption in government isn't new, but what has happened is it's been taken to a whole new level. Back in the olden days, Nancy Pelosi's worth $250 million. That's like what they have on paper. She's probably worth more than that with all the corrupt deals with her husband and father. But they say her worth is $250 million. And so they've taken, in the olden times, there may have been corruption, but they weren't that wealthy. And Biden, the Clintons, Pelosi, they've taken the corruption to a whole new level that's never been seen before.
To help the people, but now they're helping themselves. And Republicans said Republicans are almost just as bad. Only the MAGA people are the only ones that you can like the lady from Georgia.
Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene, yeah.
Yeah, you can only trust people like that because they're not interested in robbing the American people of lobbyists. These lobbyists, people don't realize this, and then they appoint people into positions of power with not even an election. Look at the Supreme Court. I got to bring this up. This one from that what's his name put in there. The lady from New York City with her facts and figures. Either she's a direct liar or a total idiot.
Sotomayor. Is she the wise Latina? The one that said a wise Latina can make a better decision than a white guy?
Yeah, but I mean, he is, the whole thing is all upside down. The country's upside down because the American people have lost the vote. We can vote, but our votes mean nothing because lobbyists and millionaires who put these.
Well, yeah, they control the politicians. That's right. They do what they, that's why when President Trump was running in the first election, they would bring up, well, you donated to all these Democrats, Pelosi, Harry Reid, Schumer. And Trump said, yeah. He said, I was building a resort, a golf course in California. I had all the environmentalists bothering me. And because I donated to Pelosi, I got her on the phone and she took care of it, got him off my back. He said if I didn't donate to her, she wouldn't take the call.
Yeah, exactly. And not just the money they take from these lobbyists. The lobbyists offer these politicians jobs for their families. I mean, they're all over. This is such a web of deception to the American people. And then you get the media, and then and they're up there lying through their teeth. They can put in who they want. The advertisers, it's all American people.
Yeah.
I hate to say that.
Yeah.
You go and vote, and it's like, you could update. We know who the right people are to put in office. But there's so many people out there, and now there's stuff flood the United States for more people, and they want them to vote too.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, listen, take care. I was talking about this thing in New York yesterday, where they're going to allow non-citizens to vote. And I saw an interview with this new mayor, so-called moderate. He's a moderate Republican. He's really a Republican. He just has to switch to Democrat, And on Newsmax yesterday, do you know what percentage? I want to think about this. What percentage of New Yorkers voted for the new mayor, Eric Adams? Do you know? Think about this now. Don't Google. What percentage of New Yorkers voted for the new mayor, Eric Adams? 3%. 3 point something. It's less than 4%. 3%, not 30, 3% of New Yorkers voted for Eric Adams to be mayor. 3%. I saw it last night on Greg Kelly's show on Newsmax. 3%. That's nothing. 3% of New Yorkers voted for Eric Adams. They have low voter turnout in New York, obviously. 3%. Less than 4 was 3 point something. So 3%. So they have this new thing now where they're going to allow non-citizens to vote, which includes illegals in New York City municipal elections. This so-called moderate Republican who's only a registered Democrat, because you've got to be a registered Democrat, you got to have a D next to your name on the ballot to get elected, he's going along with this to allow non-citizens to vote. And the reason I know, 3%, I know it's crazy. And the reason he's going along with it is because he only got 3% of the New Yorkers to vote for him. And all he's thinking about is getting reelected. Eric Adams isn't thinking about doing one damn thing for the people in New York that have come through a very bad couple of years. And there's a crime wave. Crime has been legalized by the district attorney. And all he can think about is himself and getting himself reelected. He's been mayor for 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes, and he's about to make a corrupt deal. So there's 800,000 non-citizens. He knows they'll vote Democrat, or at least they assume. And they'll be very grateful to him for giving them the vote. And instead of getting 3% of the vote, well, he'll get a huge, that's, the population of New York right now is about 8 million. Okay? So that's like 10% of the population are non-citizens. I didn't realize what a small percentage of the people of New York voted for Eric Adams. So I saw it on Greg Kelly last night. I was shocked. In fact, I rewound. I was watching it live. And, because of DVR, rewinding live TV, that's amazing. My grandparents, if my grandparents were alive and I showed them how you can pause and rewind live TV, they would burn me at the stake for witchcraft. I mean, that's an amazing thing we take for granted now, but it's pretty magical. I couldn't believe. So that, Eric Adams is as corrupt as Biden. He's a real lowlife. All right, let's take some calls. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
Oh, I worked on the Giuliani campaign, and after he was elected, when we saw how much better the city got after Dinkins, I think, there's never going to be another Democrat in. And then they put in Bloomberg, who was okay until the last year or two. And then they put this idiot in. And I figured after this idiot that they had in, that they just got rid of, they would never put another Democrat in. But, man, these people are sick over there. I'm embarrassed to say I used to be a New Yorker.
Well, it's amazing when I saw that he only got 3% of the vote. 3% of New Yorkers. Voter turnout's very low, apparently, in New York. I guess a lot of people figure, what's the point? A Democrat's going to win. I don't know. So it wasn't 3% of casted votes. It was 3% of the population.
That's really amazing. I can't understand. Everybody's so locked in from the COVID, I guess, that they're afraid to go out and vote.
Well, when you're in a lot of these places, it doesn't matter, you figure. Like in California. You figure, well, a Democrat's going to win, so I really don't need to show up. But if he gives the non-citizens and the illegals the vote, there's 800,000 in New York, he figures he might get up to 5, 6, maybe 10% of the vote.
There's one other thing I'd like to mention. I remember when Greg too, I think, said to you, you don't do anything. I was talking to...
I don't do anything? Greg said I don't do anything?
And then you...
No, I have no recollection of that. Wow.
Anyway, one of the listeners, who was a mega guy, mentioned to me, why doesn't Brian run for Senate?
Oh, yeah.
I said, why would you want to do that to Brian? He's a nice guy. You go to Senate and then you have to deal with these people every day. Man, that's a terrible...
I'm not electable. I've been doing talk radio since like 92, right? You know how many things I've said on the air over the years? I'd be done.
Yeah, but then again, you have a pretty big population that likes you. I think he might have.
You do not see very many radio talk show hosts run for office, because not that I'm a running for office kind of guy, but when you're on the radio for years and years and years, 3 or 4 hours a day, any particular show can have a soundbite from it taken out of context that'll make you sound insane or racist or bigoted or anti-this or anti-that or gender-phobic or whatever they got now these days, all these weird things. Radio talk show hosts typically, unless they're very bland and vanilla, are not electable.
What I said, Rush Limbaugh probably could have got elected easy at the 25 million people listening to him. I said, but he knew he had a mission to have his radio show and let people know it. And that's exactly what Brian's doing. Brian's like the new Rush Limbaugh.
Oh.
He's without him on the radio, we'd be missing. We don't need him in Congress. We need him on the radio.
Oh. Yeah, but being in the Senate, that's like being retired. That's not a job. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
That's why so many senators run for president. They got nothing else to do. They're bored. That's not a job.
Yeah, that's the thing what they do. They all go in there and they go in on Monday, Wednesday, they go back home, and then you never see them again.
Mm-hmm.
Then everybody in Congress, both sides even, there's very few that really want.
Yeah. All right, hey, take care. Thanks for the call, Doug. Yesterday I heard Nancy Pelosi had a hard time getting off the podium after her speech, and you see Biden all the time, so checked out. The solution to Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi's problems is hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Mitch Matez at the Bio Station. If Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden started hormone replacement pellet therapy, you would not even recognize them. They would look better. They'd be more clearly spoken. Their cognitive abilities would be completely restored. They would be with it. I'm not exaggerating. Anyone out there who has used Dr. Mitch Matez and is using, or is a patient of Dr. Matez and is using hormone replacement pellet therapy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I talk a lot about it restores your sex drive, your ability to have sex. In women, it reverses the signs and symptoms of menopause completely, 100%. But it also restores your cognitive abilities, your memory, your ability to get to the facts, and it's absolutely amazing. So if you want to look as young as you used to, if you want to feel as good as you used to, if you want to restore your sex drive, call Dr. Mitch Matez at the Bio Station. Mention you heard about him on the radio, and it's a completely free consultation, even for Pelosi and Biden. If Joe Biden called the Bio Station today and said, I heard about you on the Steve Kane Show, even Joe Biden would get a free consultation with Dr. Mitch Matez. Yeah, it would change it. He'd be like Trump. Joe Biden. It's true. So make sure you mention the Steve Kane Show or you heard them on the radio when you call for your free consultation with Dr. Matez at the Bio Station. Here's the number, 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
Steve Kane radio listeners love Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
I went over to a Champagne Automotive, and I gotta say that this man is the most fair mechanic I have dealt with in my entire life. We took a car over there that was not being used yet. It belonged to my 90-year-old dad. Everybody I had taken it to before was charging an astronomical amount of money. But when we took it over there, Eddie took a look at it, and I gotta say that this man fixed the car. It's running like a charm. Anybody that needs a mechanic, I strongly recommend Eddie, and he is just the best thing that's happened to this family as far as car maintenance goes. It's fixed. Bottom line, it's fixed, and the price was right.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need. And their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. 101.
When the pandemic hit America, our nation was caught off guard and unprepared. One of the biggest problems was we didn't have enough PPE because everything was made in China. There is a solution to this problem. Small Business Development Group has formed strategic manufacturers to produce medical exam gloves and associated raw materials right here in the USA. This way, supply chain issues will never be a problem again. This project is U.S. funded, owned, and managed. Best of all, it's without reliance on the foreign supply chain. Investing in this critical infrastructure is important to the safety and defense of America. Now, here's where you come in. If you're an entrepreneur, venture capitalist, or high net worth individual interested in this investment opportunity, contact Small Business Development Group at 919 area code 654-6870. 919 area code 654-6870. Learn more about this incredible opportunity. 919-654-6870.
Small Business Development Group is a publicly traded company. Stock symbol SBDG. Online at c2cpic.com. Find strategic manufacturers online at strategicmanufacturers.com. Hi, Brian Craig here. I'm in studio with my wife, Kathy, and she's here to tell you about her experience with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Well, as you know, Brian, I was waking up in pain almost every morning for years and years, and we had bought a new mattress not that long ago, but it still was not doing the trick, so I said to you, let's get the MyPillow mattress topper, and let's see if it helps or makes any kind of a difference. And I have to tell you, after sleeping on it just one night, I woke up, no pain.
Steve Kane Show.
Incredible. It made a huge difference for me. And the pain has not returned.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Now go to MyPillow.com and order your MyPillow mattress topper and do what Kathy and I did. Use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And this is an incredible deal because with the promo code KANE, you will save 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper and get 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. It comes in every size too, from twin all the way up to California King. That's promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All righty. All right, welcome back. 20 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning. Last night, this is Bob from Utah. Project Veritas released the DOD DAPRA, D-A-P-R-A, had documentation where they turned down co-funding of the NIH project research. And so it was released last night that ivermectin
Yeah. Well, we do not give medical advice on this program of any kind, no matter who it's coming from with that. I'm telling you. I'm going to leave it up to individuals to decide, not people that are not doctors to tell people what they should and should not do. All right? And everybody else should do that too. You know, no matter what it is, I don't, like even when I talk about hormone replacement pellet therapy, I say what it's done for me and tell you to go and meet with Dr. Mitch Matez. That's what I tell you to do, and talk to him about hormone replacement pellet therapy. I do not tell people what they should not do and what they don't need or anything involving any type of medical decision. And no one else should do that either, because you never know about that person's background, what other health issues they have. You know nothing about them, okay? And I'm sorry. That's my rule of thumb, and that's by the way, pre-COVID. Pre-COVID. All right? All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That is our number. You know, there's a story that's going to go national today, right out of Broward County. We have a very, in Broward County, which is as liberal and as corrupt as Cook County, where Chicago is. Broward County is, I got out of Broward County many years ago. I will never go back to Broward County. It is as corrupt as can be. And there is a story that is, I support Project Veritas, but I've not seen the report, and I'm not going to let someone call in and talk about something and tell people what medical treatment they should not get or should get, especially when they're not a doctor. I'll tell you another thing. taking it away from the controversial issues of COVID. You know, Dr. Lemaski, our therapist, my therapist, Steve's therapist, and I know many therapists to people in this listening audience. If she takes a call from someone, she doesn't diagnose them over the phone on the air. She has to meet with somebody. If you have a psychiatrist or a psychologist on, and we're talking about that pathological liar, Adam Schiff, any psychiatrist or psychologist will tell you, I cannot give you a diagnosis of Adam Schiff because I haven't examined him myself in person. They can give you a generalized opinion based on what you tell them, but they cannot specifically, not unless they're a quack. And that's with something that's not controversial. All right, but let me get back to this in Broward. Sometimes you got to explain to people out of something that's not controversial, you know, and then it may make sense to them. But anyway, let me get back to this. So Broward County, Florida, the most liberal, corrupt county, the supervisor of elections, who I'm not familiar with, you know, but this is in the Gateway Pundit. Far left Broward County supervisor of elections Joe Scott was caught on video taking sides in Florida's 20th congressional district when he asked GOP candidate Jason Mariner if he was a member of the Proud Boys. And apparently either the Republican candidate, Jason Mariner, or someone in his party was recording this exchange on their cell phone, and it is on social media. The Gateway Pundit has a story on it. And I'm going to play the audio in just a moment. And what had happened was, and I've never heard of this guy before. I know nothing about him other than he doesn't seem to be a very pleasant person, and he does seem to be very partisan. Someone gave the okay sign in the Republicans' party. And, you know, the left, the Democrats, the media have decided that the okay sign with the fingers is a white supremacist gesture, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. First of all, the okay sign, that is in American Sign Language, that is the official sign for okay in American Sign Language. Eddie Murphy, everybody love Eddie Murphy, right? If you go back to the Eddie Murphy movies, I'm not sure if it started with Beverly Hills Cop or if it was before Beverly Hills Cop, but you know, a lot of people that are in movies have a signature, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back. Do you know what Eddie Murphy's signature is? It's not his laugh. It's the okay sign. And if you watch Beverly Hills Cop, I'm sure he does this in Beverly Hills Cop too, the okay sign is his I'll be back. And he's black. And Eddie Murphy never thought that the okay sign was a white supremacist sign. People do that all the time. Somebody's talking, you know, like sometimes my wife and I will go to the store and I'm going to go get something and she says, hey, make sure you get the milk, and I'll give her the okay sign. Okay. You know, and I don't know when they decided that the okay sign was a white supremacist signal. And when and if it is a white supremacist signal, the okay sign, what are they signaling? So anyway, here's the audio. And this is the Broward supervisor of elections, who's a Democrat, left-wing, on a hidden cell phone video. And this is in our listening area. Broward County, got a lot of listeners in Broward County. This is the first time I've even heard of this new supervisor of elections. And listen to this bizarre exchange.
Thank you for voting.
Are you guys in any way affiliated with the Proud Boys?
No.
He just said, are you guys with the Proud Boys? So what if they're with the Proud Boys, by the way? Is the Proud Boys some outlawed organization? Are they not allowed in Broward County? I'm not a supporter of the Proud Boys. I think the Proud Boys is mostly a front group of undercover agents that are trying to screw up MAGA. But if someone's in the Proud Boys, what business of it is of his? A Proud Boy can go wherever they want in Broward County, can't they? Anyway, back to this. Are you with the Proud Boys?
Thank you for voting.
Are you guys in any way affiliated with the Proud Boys?
Are you guys in any way affiliated with the Proud Boys, he says?
No. They don't.
That's
an insulting question. I've publicly denounced them
Show your face.
I don't think so. There was no hand sign.
Okay, so the Republican, he says, I publicly denounce them. I don't know why he's denouncing them. I don't know anything about Jason Mariner. He's a Republican. I don't know. He says he's denounced them, okay. And then he says, well, the hand sign, you can hear this. Let me go back. You'll hear the supervisor of election, who's supposed to be not involved in getting involved in different races here.
That's an insulting question. I publicly denounced them, and I don't think so. There was no hand sign.
So there was no hand sign, meaning the okay sign. Are you freaking kidding me? You can't say okay. You can't do the okay sign anymore? Is that not allowed in Broward County? I moved out of Broward County many years ago. I grew up in Broward County, and people were doing the okay sign all the time, like Eddie Murphy in all his movies. What a strange man this liberal is.
That's an insulting question. I publicly denounced them, and I don't think so. There was no hand sign.
Oh my goodness. So if he did the okay sign, so what? So what if he did the okay sign? Hey, you're going to the car. Make sure you get my bottled water. Okay. Oh, white supremacist hand sign.
Off the camera. There wasn't any.
I don't know. Have no idea what they're talking about. Do you have the video? Pull up the YouTube.
I was taking the picture. He wasn't throwing no signs up. I was taking all of it.
Okay?
No.
I went like this, and
you was putting the phone on.
This is amazing. So here we have a Democrat public official, supervisor of elections, who's African American, talking to Republicans, questioning them because he believes they are with the Proud Boys. He believes he saw one do the okay sign, which is a white supremacist sign. I got news for you. The supervisor of elections, of course, we have to do the disclaimer because, we got liberals out there. Like President Trump, I denounce white supremacists and white supremacy, okay? Those are bad people that should be condemned. However, in America, you have a right to be a white supremacist. Like you're an anti-Republican Democrat supremacist, okay? Supervisor of elections in Broward. You have a right to be, it's America. You have a right to be what you want to be so long as you're not breaking any laws. Unbelievable.
Shut the phone off with my pointer. There is.
It wasn't
guys, we're not. I'm now being asked by Joe.
Now.
If I threw up a gang sign. I asked if there's any affiliation.
Proud Boy.
No affiliation at all.
I'm asking if there's any affiliation with the Proud Boys. So what? So what? I've seen the Proud Boys multiple times at different... Could you imagine if there was a white Republican supervisor of elections who went up to someone who was black at a political event and says, do you have any affiliation with BLM? I think you might be with BLM. Oh, what the hell would happen? They'd be out of office is what would happen.
36 though. That's right. 38 to 36. I can't take
I'm not trying to insult you. No, that is an insulting question. I mean, there's the video on YouTube. It's on Facebook. He asked me if I threw up.
Listen, we got chicken.
Where do you guys feel like that's Hussein? But probably most of the people around here are probably coming to vote for Sheila. It does not make any sense. Why? For her to be turning away cars. That makes no sense. Why how do you know most people are here coming to vote for Sheila?
Well, now they're getting into the weeds. I don't know exactly what they're talking about there. I have never seen a supervisor of elections get involved with a candidate like this and accuse them of being things. It's for the voters to decide. It's for the voters to decide. The okay sign is not racist. Go talk to Eddie Murphy. I'm so sick of these Democrats and what they're doing. And, they seem so justified. We have so many radical liberals that are holding office around this country, whether it's this DA that just legalized some very terrible crimes in New York. If he's not going to prosecute them, that's the same as legalizing them, which includes, by the way, prostitution. Prostitution will not be, you will not be charged in New York City now with this new and now we got this guy, the supervisor of elections in Broward. You know, when I was younger, we had supervisors of elections. We had, you know, we had one that was a dope, you know, Miriam Oliphant. Remember her? She was an idiot. But, other than her, you know, that's an office where people were respected. Now they're doing shakedowns of candidates in the streets that they don't like. They're doing shakedowns on Republicans. See, this new era, this new breed of Democrats believe that everyone who's a Republican is a white supremacist. And they've also decided, not only have they racially stereotyped all white Republicans as white supremacists, they've decided that white supremacists don't have a right to be in America. Now, I don't support white supremacists, and you know what? No one I know does either, including President Trump and MAGA. But it's America, and you have a right to be a white supremacist, and Black Lives Matter, and Antifa, and all these other things. Okay? So I don't know where they get off with this type of thinking. But there's really an epidemic among liberal politicians in this country that they have decided that all Republicans are white supremacists, and they have a right to disappear them from public life. And what you're seeing here is an attempt live with cancel culture. I'm going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. If you're on hold, stand by. All right, we'll go to the phones after the break. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-CANE-1 888-465-2631. Back right after this.
In America, our nation was caught off guard and unprepared.
Steve Kane Show.
We didn't have enough PPE.
Yeah, what's your name?
Was made in China. There is a solution
Jerry, hold
to
on.
this problem.
Steve Kane Show.
Group has formed strategic
Be right back, guys.
Manufacturers to produce medical exam gloves and associated raw materials right here in the USA. This way, supply chain issues will never be a problem again. This project is U.S. funded, owned, and managed. Best of all, it's without reliance on the foreign supply chain. Investing in this critical infrastructure is important to the safety and defense of America. Now, here's where you come in. If you're an entrepreneur, venture capitalist, or high net worth individual interested in this investment opportunity, contact Small Business Development Group at 919 area code 654-6870. 919 area code 654-6870. Learn more about this incredible opportunity. 919-654-6870.
Small Business Development Group is a publicly traded company. Stock symbol SBDG. Online at c2cpic.com. Find strategic manufacturers online at strategicmanufacturers.com. Steve Kane radio listeners love Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
I went over to a Champagne Automotive, and I gotta say that this man is the most fair mechanic I have dealt with in my entire life. We took a car over there that was not being used yet. You know, it belonged to my 90-year-old dad. Everybody I had taken it to before was charging an astronomical amount of money. But when we took it over there, Eddie took a look at it, and I gotta say that this man fixed the car, it's running like a charm. Anybody that needs a mechanic, I strongly recommend Eddie, and he is just the best thing that's happened to this family as far as car maintenance goes. It's fixed. Bottom line, it's fixed, and the price was right.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need. And their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All righty. 37 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jerry from the Bay Area of California.
Hey, Jerry in the Bay Area of California. What's up?
Well, hey, not much. It's in regards to the OK sign.
I was born in Los Angeles, and I was raised in Inglewood most of my life. And I was exposed to a certain gang called the Bloods, which are predominantly black. And I guess they're white racists now. I would like to see Antifa go protest over there in Inglewood, California. See how it goes for them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand what the point you're making is. I'm lost.
That it's not fair or it's not right for them to say that the OK sign is a racist sign when there's other members of society. I mean,
the Crips and the Bloods. Well, listen, I'll tell you this. Okay, you're in the Bay Area of California. That means you're near where all the tech companies are, like Apple and Google and all that, right? Okay, if you go to your iPhone right now, and you go in the text messages or emails, and you go and look at the emojis, the OK sign is there. If you take your Android phone, the OK sign is there too. If you go on my YouTube Live right now, if you're on my YouTube Live video in the chat room, which is Google, they have a bunch of emojis programmed in. One of them is the OK sign. So Google, Apple, all these tech companies, they have the OK sign emoji on all of their devices and platforms. And that also goes for Twitter and all the rest. So are they promoting white supremacy, or does it just mean okay?
You know what? I think they're racist.
Well, that may be true, but I don't think they believe the OK sign is a sign of white supremacy. It means okay.
I mean, it's a bunch of baloney, and I can't believe it. And about the Proud Boys, I have yet to hear anything racist that they have done or said.
Well, I don't know. You know, the Proud Boys, one of the founders of the Proud Boys was arrested right before the Capitol breach. We found out he was a long-time FBI informant, and they picked him up a couple days before the breach. I believe they picked him up so he wouldn't take part in the breach, you know. And I talked about, I've seen the Proud Boys more than once up at Mar-a-Lago, and they look like undercover federal agents to me. They look like cops. They don't look like regular guys.
This is true, I agree with you, but I still haven't seen or heard of any of them being racist.
Well, I don't know, but I do know this, okay? While I don't support racism, I don't support white supremacy, you have a right to be that. You know, Alan Dershowitz, one of the greatest legal minds of our time, Alan Dershowitz, he represented the Nazis in a case in the 70s because they were denied a permit to have a parade. And Alan Dershowitz, who's Jewish, he's a Jew, he represented the Nazis. And I didn't understand that when I was a child, but I interviewed Alan Dershowitz, and I talked to him about that very thing. They made a TV movie about it, and I remember I was a little kid, and Alan Dershowitz said what Justice Scalia said and others. You don't need the First Amendment to protect popular speech, you need it to protect unpopular speech.
Hey, here goes the other one. I mean, Biden has the right to be friends with Robert Byrd, and the late Robert Byrd, right?
Yeah, the Klansman.
Yeah, exactly. And nobody says anything about him.
That's exactly right. And this low-level Democrat here in South Florida, the Broward County Supervisor, are you with the Proud Boys? Was that okay, son? Is that come on. He's just not that smart. He's somebody who's been brainwashed, and he's a true believer that Republicans are white supremacist, MAGA is a white supremacist organization, and the OK sign is a sign of white supremacy. He believes that. He's been brainwashed.
Overwoke. Well, you have a good one.
All right, you too. All right, take care. Yeah, overwoke. Yeah, that's right, overwoke. Exactly. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Joellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, hey, Joellen, what's up? Yes, Joellen.
That are retiring, but I mean, I can't believe that the Democrat Party is not working to fill them with more radical young people to run against them.
Well, what you see with this, Fort Lauderdale, you're in Broward County where this thing happened, I played, but, you look at this district attorney in New York, this new generation of Democrats that hold office, in particular Democrats who are black, have been brainwashed in public school, by the media, in college, And that's how they think. You know, this district attorney that's legalizing all these crimes by not enforcing them. And some of them are pretty serious. Resisting arrest, prostitution. You know, we're going to have streetwalkers all over New York now because you're not going to be arrested, not going to be prosecuted. This guy, I looked him up. He grew up in Harlem and he has an Ivy League education. I think he went to Harvard. He went to Harvard or Yale, whichever one, doesn't matter. And he's black and he's in his 40s. And he has, sometimes you hear people talk about white liberal guilt. He has black liberal guilt, okay? He came from Harlem, and a lot of the guys he went to school with got jammed up. They all didn't get to go to Harvard like he did. And he thinks all of his friends didn't end up with an Ivy League education like he has earned is because they got jammed up by these bad cops. So we're not going to enforce all these laws that jammed up all my buddies, or they'd be Ivy Leaguers like me. He's got a lot of guilt for his success, for his education, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and that's why he's doing it. This guy here in Broward County is, I don't know anything about him, he's just woke. He's just brainwashed with all this woke garbage.
So I don't know what that has to do with what I just said, because I'm saying like 25 people are retiring. These people are going to...
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt your show, Jocelyn. I apologize. You know, I don't know what that has to do with what I'm talking about. Did I call her radio show? I'm confused. Or did she call me? All right, our number, toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. This is not open phones, okay? We have open phones on Friday, so long as you're relevant. This is, you know, this isn't like you call. I don't know what you're talking about, Brian. That's not what I'm talking. Oh my goodness. And I also heard a tone in her voice. That's okay. That's okay. All right, our number, toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. Let's take our break, okay? We'll be back right after this.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to The Steve Kane Show.
When the pandemic hit America, our nation was caught off guard and unprepared. One of the biggest problems was we didn't have enough PPE because everything was made in China. There is a solution to this problem. Small Business Development Group has formed strategic manufacturers to produce medical exam gloves and associated raw materials right here in the USA. This way, supply chain issues will never be a problem again. This project is U.S. funded, owned, and managed. Best of all, it's without reliance on the foreign supply chain. Investing in this critical infrastructure is important to the safety and defense of America. Now, here's where you come in. If you're an entrepreneur, venture capitalist, or high net worth individual interested in this investment opportunity, contact Small Business Development Group at 919 area code 654-6870. 919 area code 654-6870. Learn more about this incredible opportunity. 919 654-6870.
Small Business Development Group is a publicly traded company. Stock symbol SBDG. Online at C2CPIC.com. Find strategic manufacturers online at strategicmanufacturers.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm excited to announce my new product, My Slippers. They took me over 2 years to develop because I didn't want just an ordinary slipper. My slippers are meant to be worn all day long, no matter what you're doing, whether you're inside or outside. My slippers come with an exclusive 3-tier cushioning system that you won't find in any other slipper.
Steve Kane Show. All right, turn off the radio in the back.
Save 40% off the MyPillow My Slippers when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
All right, 49 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. We'll go back to the phones, and then I'll bring up some other topics as well. You're welcome to talk about anything I've brought up since 6 a.m. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hello.
Yes. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, if I'm speaking, my name's Alan.
Yes, Alan. Yes. Well, we don't need to know your address. We don't need to know what you live off of, Alan. What? Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, my goodness. We're going down the tubes today with the calls. The quality of the calls is not where we like it to be. Quality of the calls, very low today. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. You know, I was just reading this article during the break. A law journal has banned the questioning of systemic racism. And I'm not going to get into the details of the story because the details are unimportant. This is a law journal at a university. They are banning questioning systemic racism. They've decided that it exists. You know, I was talking yesterday, I think on yesterday's show, might have been my podcast over the weekend. I talk so much, I lose track of where I said it. But systemic racism, when they talk about it, they mean like things are racist against. It means the system is racism today. It's towards white people, in particular white heterosexual men. Go look on television. You see any news shows that have a leading heterosexual white man? Don't think so. Look at your television commercials. If you see a white guy in them and he's straight, he's a goof, right? Or a serial killer or something on TV. There definitely is systemic racism towards white heterosexual men. And some other groups. I think there's some systemic sexism in professional sports against women, allowing people that were born as men to compete against women. But the story about they are banning the questioning in this law journal of systemic racism. Let me just tell you where it's at. It's the University of San Diego in California. How many things are they banning questioning of, right? You can't question science. You can't question systemic racism. What else can we not question? You know, in the last year, they have a list that's about as long as my arm of things you're no longer allowed to question. You can't question global warming, climate change. The left have decided all these things for us, and they are not to be questioned. You know, science in particular is, the whole premise behind science is to question things. And there have been people that have questioned settled science, you know, throughout the centuries, and they're hailed as heroes. But you can't question anything any longer. The liberals have decided everything is settled. They even get involved in evolution. You can't question evolution. They say you can't question the theory of evolution. I've heard liberals say that. What do you mean? It's a theory. It's not the fact of evolution. It's the theory of evolution, which means it's a theory, not a fact. Oh, you can't question the theory of evolution. The very title is questioning evolution. But these people, that's how the left are. You can't do the okay sign. You can't question this. You can't question that. And we are going through, I believe, we are going through the largest cultural change in American society since the Republicans freed the slaves at the end of the Civil War. And that was a big cultural shift because blacks were free and black men could vote and hold office and have jobs and everything else, that went along with that. And that was a big cultural change in American society. This idea that you can't question anything is a big cultural change too. And if you question it, you're a science denier, you're a white supremacist, you're gender phobic. Nothing is to be questioned by these people now. You are to obey them. If an argument can't hold up to being questioned, come on. One thing we do here on this program, a lot of people give us a hard time and are critical of us. We are always open, on the Steve Kane Show, we are always open to have anything we say, anything we discuss, any topic we broach to be questioned. Whatever we're talking about, it can be the supervisor of elections confronting a Republican who told his buddy, okay, white supremacist sign. Whatever it is, everything is open to be questioned. And if you have liberals don't like to really take part in programs like this too much because we start questioning them, and liberalism falls apart under questioning. Any type of logical discussion, liberalism just evaporates with an informed conservative in a logical discussion where questions are asked. That's why they avoid it. The reason that they're not allowing you to question anything, now you can't question systemic racism, the reason that they've decided everything is settled is because they can't defend it. MSNBC, this was before COVID, about 4 or 5 years ago, NBC News and MSNBC, they said we will no longer have climate deniers on. There are scientists out there who are meteorologists, climatologists, NASA scientists who believe that man-made climate change is not true. They will only have scientists on who tell you that global warming is real, that climate change is happening. They announced we will no longer have scientists on NBC News, on MSNBC who question climate change. Why? Because their host and their scientist can't sit in a studio and win a debate if someone's questioning their scientific theory. Never heard of anything. Even when it comes to medical science, you go to a doctor, he tells you need a heart transplant, you might go get a second opinion, right? And maybe that doctor tells you don't need it. Then maybe get a third opinion, then you decide. We're in a whole new world, people. A brave new world. Don't question anything the liberals tell you. Just take a knee and do what they tell you. All right, well, it's time to check in with AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace with the Morning Health Report. I don't know if we have Anita or Janet with us today. Good morning. Hey, Anita. How are you doing? Anita from AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace in Pompano with the Morning Health Report. What's going on, Anita?
Well, I want to let everybody know that over at AJ's, we're going to have the rep from Full Life in the store. Full Life is a great company. I didn't have them when I first opened, and I got so many requests for this awesome product called Ruma Art. There were so many customers that were already using it for their inflammation, and they wanted me to get it in. So I did. I tried it myself. It works great. And she'll be in the store tomorrow from 12 to 3, giving out samples, answering questions. The rep's name is Elsa, and she's a sweetheart.
Well, samples are always good because samples mean free samples, and we all love free samples.
And what's great is with the Ruma Art, the samples work pretty quick, so you know if it's a product that can work for you.
Oh, really?
I've given a lot out over the last couple of months, and I've gotten great feedback. People coming back in saying it worked for them and picking up a bottle.
Yeah, and, having a representative from a company like this is the reason why AJ's Natural Wellness Shop has a relationship with representatives from all the manufacturers of the nutraceuticals that you all carry over there.
The people that represent the product, they can really tell you what makes that product effective or special. So we only carry good quality things at AJ's that are backed up.
That's right.
That support the product and are willing to come into the store and talk to the customer.
That's right. And, today being Tuesday, today at 10 a.m. on all of our radio stations, Janet Cimarelli's Health and Wellness Show is on the air, not just on our radio stations, but on the AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace, very easy to find. The festival is just east of the Turnpike on the south side of Sample Road in Pompano. And when you head in the main entrance of the festival, head back towards the food court. Right before the food court, look to the west. You'll see that information booth. That's where AJ's Natural Wellness Shop is. If you want to call and order, no matter where you're located, even if you're in town or out of state, you can call AJ's Natural Wellness Shop and they will ship to you. Here's that number, 954-317-1851. 954-317-1851. All right, Anita, have a great day. We'll talk tomorrow. All right, take care. 2 hours down, 1 to go. I'm Brian Craig. This is The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be back right after this.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to The Steve Kane Show.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Hi folks, Dr. Matez here, now with the BioStation West Delray. At BioStation West Delray, we continue to offer the highest level of experience and care you can find in the realm of hormone pellet and hormone replacement therapies. But that's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities, including state-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc., better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks to die for. If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-GO-1.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Welcome back to our third and final hour of today's show. And our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. All right, so, this Let's Go Brandon thing, it's like the Ice Bucket Challenge of 2022. I mean, it's just really taken off. And a couple things on it. You may have heard the story about the American Airlines pilot that had a Let's Go Brandon tag on his luggage, and this snowflake woke girl at the airport contacted American Airlines and tried to have this guy be taken off the flight line, tried to cost this pilot his job. I don't know if he was a captain or a first officer. I don't remember. He was one or the other. So there you have the tolerant left, right? The tolerant left. Could you imagine if this snowflake liberal, what her reaction would have been if there was a pilot who had, I don't know, Allah Akbar tag on his luggage, and someone reported them? I remember, this was just a couple years after 9/11. Do any of you remember the flying imams? Remember the flying imams? There was a group of imams who were testing the tolerance of America, and this was not long after 9/11, a couple years after 9/11. There were a group of imams, they later became known as the flying imams. They went to an airport, and they were waiting to board a plane, and they were in, traditional Muslim clothing, like you would see an imam dress, and they started praying in Arabic, the Muslim prayers at the terminal, at the gate of the airport, where you wait to board the flight. And people got nervous. People got scared. This was not long after 9/11, a couple years after 9/11. And other passengers reported them. They went to the ticket counter and said, there's this group of Muslims, they're praying in Arabic, they're about to board this flight, maybe you should call security. So they did. Do you know, those imams, they sued. Not only did they sue the airline in question, they sued and won some of the other passengers who turned them in. They got settlement. Can you remember that, the flying imams? It's crazy, isn't it? It's insane. And what they were doing, they were trying to be a bunch of Rosa Parks, set up a big publicity thing, which they did. I don't think I'd get on a plane like that had these guys there. I think that would make me nervous. But the people that reported them were Islamophobes, the media said. The Democrats said Islamophobia must be dealt with and would attack these people. They got nervous. Now we have this woman who tried to cost a man his entire career that he spent his whole life. Who knows? He may have been in the service and learned how to fly in the service. I don't know. But she wants to destroy a man's entire life because he has a Let's Go Brandon sticker, which, by the way, was started by the left. The liberals started Let's Go Brandon. And it happened with that race car driver. Remember, at NASCAR, the fans were saying F Joe Biden. And the NBC Sports, liberal NBC Sports, the NBC Sports reporter interviewing Brandon Brown was nervous because she wasn't trying to cover for Biden. A lot of people say that. She was doing a live interview with him, and you can't have the F word go out over NBC television. So she was trying to cover up for that and they're saying, let's go Brandon. Right? And that's how that began. And now Brandon Brown has just signed, I was just reading this, an 8-figure 2-year sponsorship with a Let's Go Brandon cryptocurrency. They paid him in money and Let's Go Brandon crypto coin. And, you know, a lot of liberals are going to give this guy a hard time. What else can he do, right? NBC has permanently damaged Brandon Brown's standing and reputation. Now, he may be a MAGA guy. I don't know. I don't know anything about him. But because of NBC Sports, this guy has been branded something, a political person, which he was not. He didn't choose to get involved in politics. And because NBC News, like they did those Covington Catholic schoolboys, labeled Brandon Brown as something that he wasn't because they started that Let's Go Brandon thing, the only thing he can do to get a decent sponsorship to pay for his car is to get involved with this Let's Go Brandon crypto. And they're gonna attack him. They're gonna try to keep him out of NASCAR. They're gonna try to keep him out of races. When the liberals did this to him, NBC News owes this guy money. I mean, he's a young guy, a young driver, and his career will always be stained by what NBC Sports did to him. Maybe he should sue them, like Kyle Rittenhouse is talking about doing, right? Like Nick Sandmann did to the media. Maybe he should sue them. They have forever damaged him as a brand. He may be one of the most famous racers now. I don't know if he's a winner, if he's won races, if he's a good driver, a bad driver, mediocre. I don't know anything about him. But at a young age, this young driver has been forever damaged by NBC with this Let's Go Brandon thing. And then they're going to get very angry at him for making this deal. They tried to stop another Let's Go Brandon deal that he had going on. And, you know, NASCAR, there is a conservative audience. It's a very conservative audience. And many years ago, Terry McAuliffe, when he was running the DNC, he took the Democrats, went to NASCAR events to register NASCAR fans as Democrats, and the NASCAR fans ran him off the track. Do you guys remember this? And they figured, oh, they're a bunch of redneck hicks, married to their cousins. You know, they're obviously Democrats. They don't know any better. And they went there and they ran them out, you know. And that's the way the left operate, right? That's exactly how they operate, in fact. Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. All right. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's our number, 888-465-2631, if you'd like to call in about this or anything else I brought up since 6 a.m. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, you're on the air. All right, once, twice. All right, guess we have to screen calls. Try not to screen the calls. But sometimes you got to screen the calls. Oh, okay, I meant to play this earlier when I was talking about the House Madam Pelosi. And this fits into what I was talking about earlier with the OK sign, how they've decided, you know. Nancy Pelosi, listen to this. This is Nancy Pelosi yesterday talking about Republicans opposing the Democrat agenda.
What the Republicans
Steve
are doing
Kane Show.
across the country is really a legislative continuation of what they did on January 6th.
Okay, enough of that. I don't need to hear any more of her. So now Nancy Pelosi has decided that Republicans who do not agree with Build Back Better are insurrectionists. Right? Don't question science, don't question climate change, don't question systemic racism, and don't oppose our legislative agenda. If you oppose the Democrat legislative agenda, the Speaker of the House is saying that you're an insurrectionist and that you should be imprisoned, right? Like the people that busted into the Capitol building on January 6th last year. These people don't even hear themselves. Sometimes you'll hear people say they're saying the quiet part out loud. You know, you're saying the quiet part out loud. They're saying publicly what they say to themselves all the time, but they've been emboldened lately. All right, let's take some calls. I'll try to keep going screenless. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning, Brian. This is Bill.
Yes.
Supervisor elections in Broward counties have a history You remember that one back in the Bush Gore?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Jeb Bush. It didn't take years, and you're talking about Miriam Oliphant. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, what a mixed up supervisor she was. She was just a.
Yeah. Well, Miriam Oliphant, who was the supervisor of elections for Broward County briefly, she was on the school board, and somehow she got the idea to be the supervisor of elections. And she was a black woman. She had a lifetime job on the school board. She was an ex-model. She was very, very pretty. I'm sure she still is. I don't know what happened to her. But she had the mind of a chipmunk. And she just, she just wasn't that smart. And they put her in charge of an office that she couldn't run.
Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, this was during the hanging chads.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, it was a big case in that.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we have some other we have even bigger problems with our new supervisor of elections, who's really a scary person.
Yeah, they're getting crazy people down in Broward.
Yeah, well, it's a corrupt county. It's run by Democrats. Yeah. Any place you find run by Democrats, you'll find lots of corruption.
Yeah, and that makes a difference in elections, and we got to get these people out of office.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right, I appreciate the call. All right, take care. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. We'll take our first break of the last hour of the day and be back with more calls, and I've got some other topics that I've not gotten to quite yet. Don't go anywhere, all right? We'll be back right after this break.
Conservative Doug called me up live on the air to tell me about his experience at Friendly Tire.
I took both tires in the back of my Infiniti. I called them up, and I always check prices first. Half the price of everybody else.
Half the price?
And
half the price at Friendly Tire. Wow.
Half the price, and not only that, his tires, which nobody, the tires I was looking at, had any mileage guarantee. His is 16,000-mile warranty. So they're not only half the price, the price is good.
So you're a repeat customer over there at Friendly Tire. You bought new tires, right? So you bought new tires, because they also sell used tires, starting at just $30 for most sizes. But you bought new tires, and they were half the price at Friendly Tire than at the other tire shops around town. That is phenomenal, and came with a 60,000-mile warranty on the tires. That's great. And of course, Friendly Tire, they never charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or dispose of your old tires. The price that they give you are out the door and on the road. And
Rick, everybody should go there. I don't know how anybody can buy tires anyplace else. This guy is the best prices.
That's right. That's right. Listen, give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call. His number, 954-977-9445. He'll give you a quote right over the phone, 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net, or you can just stop right in. The address is listed at stevekaneshow.com. 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate, and that's just a little north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Well, Conservative Doug, thanks so much, and I'm glad you got such a great deal on your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
When the pandemic hit America, our nation was caught off guard and unprepared. One of the biggest problems was we didn't have enough PPE because everything was made in China. There is a solution to this problem. Small Business Development Group has formed strategic manufacturers to produce medical exam gloves and associated raw materials right here in the USA. This way, supply chain issues will never be a problem again. This project is U.S. funded, owned, and managed. Best of all, it's without reliance on the foreign supply chain. Investing in this critical infrastructure is important to the safety and defense of America. Now, here's where you come in. If you're an entrepreneur, venture capitalist, or high net worth individual interested in this investment opportunity, contact Small Business Development Group at 919 area code 654-6870. 919 area code 654-6870. Learn more about this incredible opportunity. 919-654-6870.
Small Business Development Group is a publicly traded company. Stock symbol SBDG. Online at c2cpic.com. Find strategic manufacturers online at strategicmanufacturers.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm excited to announce my new product, My Slippers. They took me over 2 years to develop because I didn't want just an ordinary slipper. My slippers are meant to be worn all day long, no matter what you're doing, whether you're inside or outside. My slippers come with an exclusive 3-tier cushioning system that you won't find in any other slipper. It combines 2 layers of foam, including my proprietary My Pillow foam and a patented impact gel made from U.S. soybeans. My 3-tier cushioning system is going to help relieve pressure points, provide that micro support you need for all-day comfort, and help prevent fatigue. Not only that, my slippers are made with high-quality leather and a premium indoor-outdoor sole that make them extremely durable. I personally guarantee they're going to be the most comfortable slippers you'll ever own.
And right now, save 40% off the My Pillow My Slippers when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, 18 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. You know, so they're trying to make this sound like a victory, but it's anything but. Beetlejuice up in Chicago, Lightfoot, she's made a deal with the unions, and the schools will reopen on Wednesday. They're giving them today to prepare. Okay, and they're going to go back. And they have conditions. You know, the mayor, the Democrats are run by the teachers union. This is not new. This has been going on for many, many years. This is the first time there's ever been a challenge, really, between Democrat leadership and the teachers union, at least that I can remember, in a very, very long time. And Lori Lightfoot was starting to look weak, and she made a deal that's so absurd. Do you know, this is their deal, okay, that the school will open unless a certain percentage of the teachers call in sick. So the teachers union's still running the joint. And yesterday, Psaki, she said Biden has sent a very clear message that schools should be open, but he won't condemn the teachers union. There's nothing like weak needed. When you talk about weak leadership from Biden, he thinks they should be open, but he won't make them open or even ask them nicely to open because he's afraid of alienating the lazy teachers union. You know, what's going on in this country right now at every level is awful. You can't name one positive thing that's happened in America since Biden took the oath of office. You really can't. And Saturday night is the first Trump rally of the new election year. It's in Arizona. Cancel your plans on Saturday. That's what you're going to do. This is going to be the beginning because Trump eventually is going to have a rally a week. He's endorsing too many candidates in these congressional races. He's going to have weekly rallies. And as we get closer, there may even be more than one rally in a day. And, you know, what will happen with that, between that and him getting his social media platform online next month, which everyone's going to have. I've already subscribed to it, and I know a lot of you have. You can pre-order it, and it'll be automatically downloaded to your device. We're going to have a voice again in President Trump. He's going to be talking, like on Saturday night, he'll be talking about all the issues. Boom, 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 boom. And as he does more of them, he'll be more current to what's going on that particular week. And it's only a matter of time before people in the media start to ask Psaki and others about what Trump said on Saturday night. And that's when we're going to start to see a tone change. Because what Trump is going to do is bring back accountability to these people. They're going to start to be questioned because Trump is ratings. Newsmax, One American News may be the only ones that carry the rallies, okay? But the tone of the news cycle will start to be affected majorly by having the Trump rallies on Saturday night. Good morning. Good morning. Good. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Frankie from South Florida. I'm on 441 right now.
On 441 in South Florida. Okay.
441 in Boynton, beautiful Boynton Beach, Florida. Speaking of corruption, isn't there a special primary election today for L.C. Hastings' former seat?
Oh, I did not know that.
I believe it is today, and I got a look at the map, but if I'm not mistaken, that is in the district I live in.
You know, Alcee Hastings, who passed away, you know, a lot of people know he was an impeached federal judge. He was appointed, I think, by President Carter, and he was impeached for taking bribes. And before he was in Congress, he used to fill in for Steve on the show. He used to guest host for Steve. And I was running the board back then. I wasn't on the air, but I was running the board, and Alcee Hastings, before he obviously was corrupt because he was impeached by Democrats for taking the bribe. So obviously the Democrats thought he took the bribe because they removed him from the federal bench. So I'm not saying he wasn't corrupt. He was always corrupt, but he got worse though when he went to Congress. And they have this weird congressional district that's cut through every black neighborhood in South Florida, including Belglade.
Well, it's in there. I could really say they need to live in their district, number one, like Debbie Wasserman, Daffy Duck Schultz there. But the other thing going on with that, the local elections, people getting involved. And don't forget, the Broward County School Board is for a superintendent. And all I can say is how that guy could lay his head on his pillow at night after what happened.
They're all corrupt. They're all corrupt. And, you know, this race for Alcee Hastings' seat, I went to Belglade about a year ago. And I went to Belglade, and I've not been to Belglade since I was a kid. Now, the reason I went to Belglade is I was making a YouTube video on Lake Okeechobee, and that's like the closest point to Lake Okeechobee from my house. So I went to Belglade. I didn't get out of my car. It was so scary. I mean, and I was ashamed. No one in America should live in the conditions that they live in Alcee Hastings District in Belglade. It is bad. It's bad. In fact, I was driving down this road to go to that takes you to Lake Okeechobee there. I got halfway down the road, I turned around, I got out of there. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning, bright as day, and it looked like Mogadishu. It looked like Baghdad. You know, it was really that scary. And that's how Democrat districts are.
They are. I mean, I'm working up in that area. I'm not going to mention the facility I work in, but it's in the farming industry. But what I see after not being down here for a while is there's going to be a lot of gentrification in there. By Pratt and Whitney, Westlake, they're built.
And Belglade, white people are not going to move in. There's not going to be any Starbucks in Belglade. There's no way.
Well, maybe in 10 years, but
in 10 years. That place has always been bad. I mean, a friend of mine was murdered in Belglade by illegal immigrants in the 80s, brutally murdered. And that was a long time ago. That was in the early 80s. That was like 82, 81, 82, 83. And I thought, well, you know, that's a long time. It's safe now. You know, I was talking to one of the deputies in my neighborhood. And he had just gotten transferred to my neighborhood from Belglade, and this guy's an Afghan veteran, and he said to me, Belglade is more dangerous for him as a police officer than Afghanistan was for him when he was in the army during the war. That's how bad it is there. And
but the Broward deputy said the same thing about Deerfield over there by the Island.
Yeah. And you know, you go throughout the country in areas that are run by Democrats. See, Democrats, in particular black Democrats like Alcee Hastings, they like those communities to stay that way because people in these terrible communities, whether it's Chicago or Belglade, are dependent upon them. And if they become independent, you talk about, if they start getting Starbucks and things in Belglade and people are starting to make a living, they all of a sudden don't stay Democrat, and that's why they keep them in these conditions. The only exception to this is Atlanta. Atlanta is run by Democrats. It's a minority city, and Atlanta is all right. But every other place in this country that is run by Democrats is like Chicago, Belglade, or New York City today.
Well, the need
Steve
more
Kane Show.
Owens type to,
Hey.
wreck.
I don't think so. We don't need more Candace Owens types that bash President Trump. I don't agree with that.
She's immature. She's got a little lot.
No, I think what's her message?
Message is to get the black community off the plantation.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you ever see that clip where she basically calls out I call them the educated.
Yeah, but where is she calling that out now? She's with Ben Shapiro. You can only hear and watch her if you subscribe to Ben Shapiro's platform, The Daily Wire. Which how many black Democrats do you think subscribe to The Daily Wire?
Yeah.
So she's not doing anything now. She's not doing anything other than bashing Trump. Hey, listen, take care. Thanks for the call. Let's check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today, Mark?
All right, Barry. What do you have for us this morning?
One of the questions I often get is, how is it and why is it I got into the area of practice that I'm in, elder law and estate planning? And it really comes from a personal experience. I actually have this story and a picture on my website that goes into this, but I'll explain it today. When I was probably in my late 20s, early 20s, excuse me, when I, before I even went to law school, my grandmother, Betty, was ill and she had to go into a nursing home. She was already widowed and she was alone. She was having difficulty breathing on oxygen. And the administrators at the nursing home told my family financially the way to handle it was to have her spend down her assets until she was down to $2,000 or below, and then they would help her get on Medicaid, and that's exactly what we did. We didn't know any better. So bottom line is her assets, while she wasn't wealthy, she still had some assets, which gives you peace of mind, knowing that you're not a burden on the family and options to pay for things over and above the cost of the nursing home. And that all went away because we got that advice. So instead of being able to keep those assets for her so she wouldn't feel like a burden on the family and know she has some money in the bank and be able to leave a legacy if she wanted to, it was all gone. And then later on, once I became an attorney, or right around the time I was finishing law school, I learned about Medicaid planning. And what it was ways for people that were in the same situation as my grandmother to be able to preserve those assets, qualify for Medicaid, not when she was down to below $2,000, but while she still had her assets. Even if her assets were too much, even if her income was too much, we could still get people qualified for Medicaid. And we could have done that for her had we gotten the right advice. So once I learned that this was something that could be done, it was something that I wanted to help other people do, other families preserve the assets and help people who've done everything they were supposed to do in life, work hard, save, and then they get sick and then they lose it all because of that. And I wanted to help people avoid that, and that's why I became an elder law and estate planning.
Yeah, and long-term care insurance is a good thing, but hardly anybody gets that. I mean, and those last few years of life is when people require the most care, the most health care, the most expense, and it financially destroys families. And it also, it doesn't just financially destroy. A lot of times a parent moves in with one of the kids, and that sometimes causes a lot of problems inside the family, as well as financial hardship on the family member they move in with. Call attorney Barry Siegel. Talk to the Siegel Law Group. They specialize in this, and you'll be very glad you did. It's a free consultation if you mention you heard of the Siegel Law Group on the Steve Kane Show. Here's the number, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll talk later in the week. All right, take care. All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Now, you may have heard that Jesse Waters has been given the 7 p.m. Monday through Friday show on Fox News, right? That was held by Martha McCallum for a while. after President Trump was elected, and then Greg Kelly started beating Fox News in the ratings. And Greg Kelly's the 7 p.m. guy on Newsmax. And I think Greg Kelly's the best. I mean, I love Greg Kelly. I think he's better than Tucker, Hannity, all of them. He's certainly number one on Newsmax, and I try not to miss his show any night at all. And he has been beating consistently Fox News. And Fox News, since they demoted Martha McCallum to that afternoon slot, they've been rotating people, I don't know how long, a year, it seems. And now they've given it to Jesse Waters. And, Jesse Waters is all right. I got no beef with Jesse Waters. I like Jesse Waters. He's very, popular and likable. And I see Fox News continue to make decision after decision to try to stop Newsmax from overtaking them as the conservative cable news network of record. I think Newsmax is where to go. I know One American News. A lot of you guys like One American News. I don't have One American News. I said it was boring last week. I got so much negative feedback over that. I'm still hearing from people that are just in love with One American News. Okay, you can stay over there. I like Newsmax. And Newsmax has raised the bar. Since they became so popular a year ago, they made a lot of changes, and they continue to get better and better and better. And Greg Kelly on Newsmax at 7 has an incredible producer staff that just find incredible material for him that is just amazing. And it's a very good show. And I think it's more informative than even Tucker Carlson. I like Tucker, but he's no Greg Kelly on Newsmax TV. Now, Jesse Waters is so popular that he'll be a ratings battle for Greg Kelly on Newsmax. There's no doubt about it. But that, Greg Kelly will just raise the bar a little bit, and because his show is much, much better. Plus, he's got me plugging away for him all the time. Here's the thing, and this is the test. This is the test of Fox News, and the test is this Saturday night. President Trump's first red wave rally is Saturday night in Arizona. This is a big one because this is the first of the election season. Do you think Fox News is going to carry the rally? They have not carried a Trump rally in a long time. And by carrying the rally, I don't mean in a little box at the bottom right of the screen where they're monitoring it. And if he says anything that's important, we'll bring it to you. Will they carry the rally? Newsmax will carry it. One American News will carry it. And I know Newsmax has been sending an entire team to the Trump rallies lately, and I'm assuming they're going to do that on Saturday night. I know they're going to be carrying the rally because this is an important one. Fox News, I don't think they'll carry the rally. They blew out recently Chris Wallace. Okay, they blew out Chris Wallace because MAGA people don't like him, and Chris Wallace is directly responsible for the explosion in popularity of Newsmax TV, right? Chris Wallace pissed people off. They went to the alternative. Jesse Waters is very, very MAGA. He's pro-Trump. He loves Trump. He's friends with the Trump boys. They were at his wedding to his former mistress. That's now his wife, Jesse Waters, and all of that. You can't let yourself be fooled by that. If they don't carry the Saturday night Trump rallies are going to become a Saturday night affair. MAGA's going to be staying home on Saturday night watching Trump rallies, or be in a restaurant somewhere watching them on your iPhone, right? And if they don't carry the Trump rally, which is major news, because he's going to have the candidates in the Arizona races, including the governor's race, with him. And this is the first political event of the midterm election season. If they do not carry the Trump rally on Fox News Saturday night, Jesse may still be on, okay? Don't buy their crap that they're MAGA now. Saturday night, I like Judge Jeanine, but and I know she's very strongly in support of President Trump, but I am sure she would understand if she were preempted for Trump rallies. Because she knows, as well as you know, that if there's a Trump rally on Saturday night, you're not watching Judge Jeanine. You're going to go somewhere where you can watch the Trump rally, whether it's Newsmax, One American News, Right Side Broadcasting, on YouTube, or somewhere else. You're not going to be watching her. Now, I don't blame her. I don't blame Jesse Waters. okay, when they have them on Saturday nights instead of a Trump rally. They're not in charge of that. They just work there. But if they don't carry the Trump rally on Saturday night, that is a statement. And I don't mean carrying it on their app, because if I remember correctly, there was a Trump rally, it was either the last one or the one before the last one, where Fox News carried it on the Fox Nation app. The Fox Nation app doesn't do it. That's a gimmick to try to get people to subscribe to the Fox Nation app. Okay? That's not carrying the rally. And not many people, I subscribe to it. I got it. I subscribed when Patriot Purge came around. I kept it. They got some stuff up there I like. Now they have movies up there now, like Top Gun and stuff on the Fox app. Carrying the rally on the app is just a gimmick to get people to subscribe to the app. The test is if they carry it on television. You know, this is really ticking me off. You know, everything, you know, our October surprise in the last election was the Hunter laptop. Disappeared. Couldn't be covered. Now we have our candidate and we have the leader of our party who's going to be doing weekly rallies, and they won't carry it as if it's not news. I'm sorry. It's just not right. That's just not right. And, you know, I know there are some people on Fox News that I like. I like Tucker Carlson and some others over there. But it's hard for me to support them when they do things like that. And they do it because every time they do that, they're doing that to us. And it's worse. They're worse than CNN. If they don't carry the rally, they're worse than CNN at Fox, because they're pretending to be something they're not. They're pretending to be a conservative network. They claim to not be mainstream media, and then they don't carry the rallies. And they don't carry the rallies for the same reason CNN and MSNBC don't care. They don't like Trump, and they don't want him to be president again. They don't want him to be successful, so they've decided that it's not newsworthy. Now, they don't tell themselves that they're doing something devious. They tell themselves, well, he's responsible for an insurrection, and carrying him on our air could cause an insurrection. That's what they tell themselves. Well, he's good enough to do interviews. He does individual interviews on Fox many times. If he can do an individual interview and that's okay with them, why can't they carry the rally? You know, the media have a lot of problems with us, okay? With us in the MAGA movement. And one of the problems they have is it's a threat to their power. They want to pick who wins, who loses, who the candidates are, who the candidates are not. And they think that they can do it. So I'm telling you, you know, if they don't carry that rally on Saturday night, you really should take note of that. You really should take note of that and really think about it. Now, I'm not expecting anybody to give up on Tucker Carlson. I get it. Tucker Carlson does a lot of good work over there. I don't want to punish him. You know, I'm not telling anybody to boycott anything. But I'm telling you that I'm a Newsmax person. And if they stopped carrying the rallies, that would change on a dime. And I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to continue to carry them. And I liked that they put together a team like Right Side Broadcasting. They should partner with Right Side Broadcasting, quite honestly. So tell me what you think. I mean, if they don't, I know. Fox News, you know, the thing about Fox News that burns me is they didn't become number one on their own. They became number one after the 2000 recount, when conservatives were looking for fair and balanced non-corporate media, non-mainstream media. And now they've become the total opposite of what made them great. And, you know, television is a habit medium. And people have a habit of being locked in on Fox, and Fox having all this credibility. But if they don't carry the rally, that means, like CNN, they hate you. They hate me, and they hate Trump. That doesn't mean that, you know, I know Jesse Waters, and, you know, Jesse Waters loves Trump. I'm not questioning Jesse Waters' loyalty to Trump. But I'm questioning whether or not you should be loyal viewers of Fox, is what I'm questioning. And Fox is very worried about Newsmax. That's why they've made so many programming changes. They see them in the rearview mirror, but they won't take the big change, and that's carrying the Trump rallies. We'll find out. All right, our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are located. I was reading a story today. Let me pull this up, because this was a very good news story. I almost forgot about this story, but I don't want to finish the show without bringing it up. It involved Mike Lindell. Oh, this was amazing. Now, you remember Mike Lindell was kicked out of all these big box retailers, right? And one of them was Bed Bath & Beyond. Listen to this. Now, a year ago, Bed Bath & Beyond dropped MyPillow. They've just announced they have closed 37 stores. Bed Bath & Beyond removed MyPillow from its stores in January 2021. CNN Business reported at the time it was because Mike Lindell and his political positions. A year later, in their latest quarterly results, Bed Bath & Beyond announced a lack of inventory has cost them $100 million. They're blaming Biden and the supply chain crisis. But, hey, Mike Lindell, they could have filled their shelves with MyPillows and MyPillow slippers and everything else. And, you know what Trump says about woke. Everything woke turns to S. Well, everything woke goes broke, apparently. And Bed Bath & Beyond, they're so caught up in their wokeness. If Bed Bath & Beyond would have started carrying Mike Lindell's MyPillow products, they wouldn't be closing all these stores. There would have been a rush of people to go to them. So, you know, when you use our promo code and you buy MyPillow products, look what you've done, right? You just helped put this anti-MAGA, anti-Trump company pretty much out of business, Bed Bath & Beyond. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Let's take a call or two before the Gold Report. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, good morning, Brian. Al from Coral Springs.
Oh, hey, Al, how are you?
Hey, listen, I'm going to do something rare and give you much kudos yesterday on your show. You did not mention the tax cheat president we used to have, not once. His word did not come out of your mouth once yesterday. And I thought the Kool-Aid was fun.
I'm not sure who you're talking about. Tax cheat? Who's the tax cheat?
Talking about your tax cheat god.
Oh, Trump has not cheated on his taxes.
You didn't utter his name once yet.
Wait a minute. You have some information here. Maybe I can go viral. You have evidence that President Trump cheated on his income taxes. Can you share what he did? And how do you have access to his confidential tax returns?
Not only that, a federal judge just ruled that he did nothing to stop the insurrection.
No. How did you get a hold of President Trump's confidential and private tax returns?
You a compliment. Today is your...
Oh, so you don't have them. You do have them? Did you, it'd be, if you had his tax returns, that would be a crime, All right, you're repeating yourself. All right, Polly want a cracker? That's why the Democrats, you can't question this, you can't question science, you can't question systemic racism, because they can't answer questions. They just get in this robotic thing. All right, let's take our last break of the day. We'll be right back after this. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Don't go anywhere.
Steve Kane radio listeners love Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
I went over to Champagne Automotive, and I got to say that this man is the most fair mechanic I have dealt with in my entire life. We took a car over there that was not being used yet. It belonged to my 90-year-old dad. Everybody I had taken it to before was charging an astronomical amount of money. But when we took it over there, Eddie took a look at it, and I got to say that this man fixed the car. It's running like a charm. Anybody that needs a mechanic, I strongly recommend Eddie, and he is just the best thing that's happened to this family as far as car maintenance goes. It's fixed. Bottom line, it's fixed, and the price was right.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair.
Hey there. Hold on.
Your car doesn't need, and their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, welcome back. 46 minutes after the hour, you're listening to the Steve Kane Show. It's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca Raton with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking today?
Looking good, Brian. Gold continues to try to build a nice base around that $1,800 number, which has been quite a resistance area also. Yesterday we saw gold close up $3.80, closing at $1,800.80. Silver was up 10 cents. It closed at $22.45 the ounce, while platinum was down $21 at $9.38, and palladium closed down $23 at $1,852. This morning again, gold higher, up $4.20 at $1,805, and silver up another 10 cents at $22.55 the ounce. Platinum up $2 at $940, and palladium up $8 at $1,860. So that's pretty much where we're starting off. Rather quiet thing, but it appears that, like I said, we're building a good, strong base around this $1,800 number, and probably getting ready to challenge some newer highs.
Oh yeah, gold's looking good this year. That 1,800 is a solid. Let me ask you, William, because we talk a lot when it comes to gold. 1 ounce coins, which are of course are spectacular. What about? I know you also sell gold in bar form, and gold comes in 1 ounce bars. Is even. Does it make a difference? Is gold, or bars okay in the 1 ounce form, or should people go for the coin?
Well, the coins are more popular, but bars are very popular also. We do sell a lot of 1 ounce bars, and you can sell a lot of 10 ounce bars and kilo bars of gold. So
wow.
There is some reporting regulations when you get into the multiple ounces in bar form over 30 ounces. So a lot of people prefer coins that are non-reportable, but we can explain all that to our clients when they come in and give them the different options. But certainly we have all of the bars, and the bars are lesser priced than the coins are because of the governments that they charge for manufacturing. Cheaper.
Well, bars are cheaper to make than the detailed coins, too, I imagine. It has something to do with it. Well, listen, if you have any questions about the metals, give William Youngerman a call. They open up at 10 a.m. The number is 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010, online, williamyoungerman.com, and located right here in Boca Raton at 150 East Palmetto Park Road on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow. All right, take care. I was talking about this at the top of the show at 6. I was so excited, but I want to share with you guys that we're not listening then. I came in this morning and people mail us things here all the time here on the Steve Kane Show. We get messages, we get letters, we get cards, we get packages, and I had gotten an envelope today, and I didn't look to see who sent it. I just opened it up and figured I'd find out who sent it when I opened it up, and it was James O'Keefe's new book, which is called American Muckraker. And I thought, I thought, and a listener sent me the book. And I opened up the book, and it was autographed by James O'Keefe, and it says, "For Brian Craig," signed by James O'Keefe. And he put the date that he signed it, December 29th. And I thought, wow, that's interesting. I said a listener sent me an autographed copy, I thought. And then what fell out of it blew my mind. One thing that came out of it I can't show you because James O'Keefe sent me 2 things with the book. One, he sent me his cell phone number, which I think is absolutely amazing. I'm going to put that in my book. And James O'Keefe sent me a handwritten personal note written to me, which just blew my mind. And it was James O'Keefe that sent the book, and it's on the envelope that it came in. And then I also got an invite to a private party that James O'Keefe is having, and the location of which you are only given when you confirm that you are attending the party. So it's kind of like a secret party. And I just was like, it was just amazing to me that I got this personally from James O'Keefe. That just blew my mind. We're on the radar, Steve, if you're up there listening today. Well, when you're in this kind of business, you don't get a lot of recognition, right? You don't get a lot of recognition. All you get really is negative feedback from people. And anytime you get any type of positive affirmations when you're in this type of business, you got to grab onto it and savor it. and brag about it too, because it doesn't happen all that often. And this book, by the way, James O'Keefe sent me, this book has not come out yet. This does not come out until like the 25th of the month. You know, so I got an advance copy from him, and I will definitely cherish this like my autographed Trump book that I got last week. This is amazing, and it's a nice note that James O'Keefe wrote, and it is actually handwritten. This is not a copy thing. It's pretty nice. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Good morning. You're on the radio. Hey, Bob.
You really deserve that book. You really, guys, you and Steve should write your own book. I'd be the first in line to buy one.
Well, it made me excited. What made me excited is James O'Keefe sent it personally, autographed it to me, and sent me his cell phone number. That's, I mean, the cell phone number is the extra personalization.
Personal, you like in a family. I mean, we have a small family here. Most of my family is gone. We're older. But I'll tell you, even my daughter watches you. I have a lot of Democrat friends that turned out they're starting to see differently because of you. And, I mean, you really have a great show. And I'm from New York City originally, and I was a staunch Democrat for years. I moved down here, and I was one of the voters for Obama at one point. When Trump came along, that changed my mind. And
Really? You were a Democrat that late in life? Till Trump came down the escalator?
Well, I'll tell you, you're right about that, unfortunately.
Wow.
I wasn't that involved with politics, but what Trump did, what he tried to do when he was not allowed to do totally, is fantastic.
Well, you know, it's the first time I ever heard of Donald Trump is like when I was in middle school, and I was watching Robin Leach's Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Remember that show? You know, Caviar, what was it? Caviar Dreams, and I forgot the other part. Yeah, and they did a whole segment on Donald Trump. I'd never heard of Donald Trump. I've been to New York as a tourist, right? I've lived in Florida most of my life, and I didn't know who he was. They did this whole segment on Donald Trump, and they were showing him and his lifestyle, and I'm like, this guy is so strange looking with the hair. What's going on with the hair? And they were interviewing very famous people at the time, people that were very famous and well known at the time. And they were praising Donald Trump. And I remember one of them said, he's going to own this city one day. And I'm like, who is this guy, Donald Trump, that they keep talking about? And boy, they were right. They were right. He was,
Not only talks the talk, he walks the walk. A lot of people, politicians, they promise you everything. If it wasn't for a few people there in the very beginning, he'd get everything done plus. But I'll tell you, he made us all start to think we're overpaying for drug prices. You go to a foreign country to get something for $20, here's $2,000.
Well, that's why they were after him. That's why they went after him. You know,
he made that trade imbalance. He tried to balance it. That's really didn't mean
that. The one thing that made them do everything they did to Donald Trump was making the import-export taxes, right? You import in the United States, there's no tax. You import to them, it's 75% tax. When he fixed the trade imbalances, that's why everything happened against him. That was because all these, President Trump always said, and he was being very kind, he says, our politicians are stupid. They have these ridiculous trade imbalances. They were not stupid. They were all corrupt. They all sold out the country. They were designed to be out of balance, and that's why the establishments of both parties, when everything else he did, the thing that he did that made them do what they did, everything, were fixing the trade imbalances. That was the main thing.
One more thing. What time does Trump come on Saturday?
I'd have to check the time. I don't know. I got to check the time. I'm thinking at 8 o'clock.
Lots of luck to Steve with his COVID recovery, and we're praying for him, and you got be on the show.
Well, I appreciate it. And those of you that missed it, I was hoping Steve would be back today. Steve is almost all well. And I did not know this until Saturday. Steve told me on Saturday he had COVID, and that's why he's been out the last couple weeks. And I thought he just had the flu. Like I had a bad cold for a couple weeks. I thought that's what he had. But he had COVID, and he kept it from me because, well, he didn't, He didn't want people, when you're his age, people think you got COVID, that's it, you're done. And he didn't want, you know how people would get. And he didn't want people thinking that way and calling him and everything all the time is what my assumption is. Plus me, I worry about everything all the time. I'm hysterical about things. It would have been not fun for me if I had known. But he is doing much, much better. In fact, I talked to him last night, and he's almost 100%. But I told Steve, I said, because I've done this myself. When I'm getting over a cold or a flu, all of a sudden I feel so much better because I've been so sick, and I push myself, and then boom, I have a bit of a relapse. So I'm assuming we're going to have Steve back this week. He is doing well. He did not go into the hospital or anything. Okay? Not only did he not go into the hospital, he didn't get the monoclonal antibody treatment, none of that. So, yeah, I know. And I told him, I was like, well, this is awesome because now you're going to have the best immunity of all, right? You're going to have that natural immunity. It's like better than anything. So that kind of takes a relief off of you, doesn't it? When you know you got that natural immunity. All right, everyone. Hey, listen, thanks for tuning in. My name's Brian. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Have a great day. We'll talk then.
When the pandemic hit America, our nation was...
Hey, guys. I got to take off because I got a meeting I got to be at in, 15 minutes. But thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Click that notification bell. And before you go, make sure you like the video, okay? Take care.